I'm just like on the couch, like one eye open, just like watching everything go down. Like, this is insane.
Welcome back to The Bunt, the People's Podcast. I'm D Jones. I got my main man, the Ghost, with me. We got Ants One and Jay Burrows behind the scenes. Ghost, a happy new year to you and the people, man.
Yeah, listeners, 2025 is, well, this is a couple days before, but you'll be hearing this on the first Happy New Year. Let's make it pop this year, eh?
First New Year's resolution that pops into your head. You got 10 seconds, man. No thinking. Go.
Get clips. Do everything that you
very
can.
Nice.
Physical, mental. Get clips. Let's do it.
Get clips. I love it. Ghost, absolutely massive week inside Studio E. A New Year's Day episode. We've never done this before. Give the people their fireworks, man. Everyone's waking up hungover as hell today. I'm not drinking ever again since the Blue Towel party. I hate being hungover, and I was hungover that day. So I won't be hungover, but to everybody else, what's happening this week?
In Studio E, we got a legend who's also the son of a mega legend. We got Riley Hawk. Well, yeah, in skateboarding. But we got Riley fucking Hawk in the building. One of the nicest guys. Had a great conversation with him. Stoked for the people to hear it. Then we taking y'all straight to the post office, the last one of 2024. And of course, wrapping it up. Fantasy season ended in football, and the real playoffs are coming soon. So we'll be talking a lot of NFL today. You get me.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Bunt Live. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@thebunt. Hit us up on our Patreon, patreon.com/The Bunt. For everyone out there dropping Gifted Haters Patreon, you can come over to ours. You'll hear about that in the post office. And then head over to thebuntlive.com. Every episode logged for your listening pleasure. Ghost, we've been off, so you've had a lot of time to work on this one, man. The Ghost's Shoutout of the week.
You already know what the fuck it is, D Jones. It's Shoutout of the week, brought to you by The Den, your home for all the highest quality skate videos, man. It's free with over 2,000 videos curated by people like us at The Bunt, built to preserve the classics and feature all the newest releases in the highest quality, man. It's available everywhere, Apple, Android, on the web, the big screen with Apple TV. Get in there free and watch your favorite videos. Enter theden.com/bunt.
Man, it's a little quiet after, like, you know, Sodi's announced. There's like a little bit of a lull, I feel like, the next like month or so. But one of my favorites that we had on the pod over the year, a Bunt alum, a triple OG legend, and part of the Can't Stop, Won't Stop gang. Just doesn't matter. Time keeps flying. The bangers keep coming. It's Jack Curtin, baby. Venture Park. Dude, my guy, Fakey Heel, Fakey 5-0'd a hubba. He killed Puerto Rico. Some spots that we peeped with Burrows and stuff. Burrows, I don't know if you saw it. Well, I'm talking to our producer, but he nollie heel nosed. He nollie heel nosed this hubba that we went and peeped. He switched 50, this fucking round rail that has the craziest curve into it. But anyways, always love Jack footage. Switchback nose blunt up the pier. You're a triple OG legend, and I'm sure there's more in the future.
Massive shout out to Jack Curtin. Go back and listen to his episode, man. Some absolutely hilarious weed stories in that one. Ghost, only one thing left to do before we get into the interview, man. Where are we drinking beers?
I'm thinking, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go down to my local bakery. I've been French bakery, Conchi at Gerard and Greenwood. I've been hitting 2 croissants like every other day because I'm gonna start eating a little healthier.
Yeah,
you know, starting
the New Year's
today.
Coming. Yeah.
When you hear this, so right now it's like, yeah, let me get my drinks in and my croissants in. But they got Beamers. They got a little bottle shop in the bakery. So head over to Conchi on Gerard.
So 2 croissants, 2 Beamers. Hell of a
That's probably the worst combo.
Fuck it, man. Let's get into the interview. Riley Hawk, let's get it popping. right, well, welcome to the show, Riley Hawk, man. Thank you for coming on the pod. Really hyped to have you here, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah. You ever listened to the pod before?
Yeah, I've listened to a handful. I like listen to my brothers and then just like a few random ones when I'm just cycling through podcasts. I'll always throw it in the mix for sure.
That's what's up, man. So,
Yeah.
you know, we start every show the same. You got to hit us with your favorite skate moment and your favorite sports moment.
Sports moment I was thinking about today was just recently that Max Holloway Justin Gaethje fight when he just pointed to the ground and just started just throwing haymakers and then clipped him at the end. I was with all my homies and we were on a trip and that was just like crazy. People were jumping up, running around the house. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, were you cheering for Holloway or did you just not care who won? But
it was
just
actually crazy because I was there live when Gaethje won the BMF belt from Poirier. I went and saw that in Salt Lake.
Sick performance.
Yeah, and I was just like, damn, I don't know. Like Gaethje's not, like he's just a big dude, and I didn't expect it to go down like that. But that's how that world is, I guess.
Dude, any guy has his day, man. But yeah, Holloway went on and lost to Topuria now, though. Shit, man.
No, that's how it goes, man. That sport's brutal. One day you're the man, and then the next you're the meme, they say.
Yeah.
But that, and I was thinking about a skate moment today, and I remember we were out in Barcelona on a birdhouse trip way back. I think, man, it must have been almost 15 years ago, maybe, and they did a vert demo, and my dad did a 900 in front of there was probably like 15,000 people, I think. It was insane.
Damn.
I don't know if you've ever been have you been to Barcelona?
Mm-hmm.
You know that like strip where the W Hotel is, like the beach? It was just like all the way as far back as you could see, just people. And I think he might have been, what would he be, like early 40s then, still just throwing down like that. It's insane.
Wow.
Insane. I can't even imagine trying to like push myself that hard in 10 more years still. Like, it's crazy.
That's beast.
Yeah.
So Riley, take us back to the beginning, man. Where'd you grow up and how'd you get into skating?
I grew up in San Diego and kind of like North County primarily. Never made it quite south, like to, proper San Diego. But yeah, like Carlsbad, Encinitas, Oceanside, kind of bounced around there. And I mean, the first memory I have is on a skateboard with my dad. So it's kind of like, it's just intertwined into my life since I could even remember. Nice.
So there was never a moment where you remember starting to skate, like you just already were a skater from as far
I was
back
just
as you can
skating.
remember?
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, it was just there. The board was around and like, I just remember we lived in a house with a little hill and my dad would just hold me in his legs, like between his legs on the board. And we would just like cruise around the hill. And that's honestly one of the first memories I have. Cause I think I was like 2 or something. So it's kind of right when you're starting to form these like weird subliminal memories. When you get older, you're like, well, I remember. And then I drove by that house recently and I had like a crazy flashback.
That's sick, man.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Was there ever any pressure on you to skate as a young buck, man? Did your dad ever?
No, he didn't care. He was like, I think he just thought it was something he did and like maybe it just ended there, and I just was around skating so much that kind of naturally just started skating. I mean, I think when I was a kid, it was a little more common to just only have like that type of activity around, like a sport or something, no iPads, not much TV going on. So you kind of naturally are wanting to go do stuff rather than just sit on the couch and look at the wall, I guess.
Did you ever play any other sports?
Kinda, I did, but I remember I was always like pretty naturally good at sports. I mean, I know you guys had Tanner on, but man, he's like crazy freak athlete. But our mom's dad, so my grandpa on my Tanner side, he was a football player. He's a football coach all through like his college years and stuff. And so we get a lot of athletic stuff from that side. And then, cause my dad's actually not the most athletic. He's really, really good at skating and board stuff, but not really like a ball sports type person. But, I remember I would always be good enough to be like kind of right in the middle of everyone, but I never practiced. All I wanted to do was skate. So the coaches would get kind of bummed. I'd show up with like a cast halfway through the year and I was the pitcher and they're like, what the, I don't remember. They'd look at my parents and be like, dude, what the hell? And then they would just throw me in like left field with a glove and a cast and be like, yeah, whatever. And I remember I always wanted to be on the all-star team, but remember my dad was like, well, you gotta like practice. And I was like, I just want to go skate instead. So I was just skating.
That's awesome.
But I think Tanner talked about, we were on a basketball team a few years, same league. And Tanner was like, dude, I swear, I think my stepdad, who's Tanner's dad, probably thought he had the next like Allen Iverson. He was like, dude, this kid, he was hitting the most ridiculous like hook shots from the mid range like 100% of the time. It was insane.
What?
Like it was honestly like comical. Like people were just like, dude, what is going on with this kid?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
So what would you say was your first big break in the skate industry?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I feel like realistically, like getting on Baker probably when Andrew hit me up to get on Baker, because I was always around, you know, as my dad's kid and Birdhouse, whatever. And I skated for Lakai at the time, but I feel like the Baker thing just kind of puts you in a different level in the skate community. So that was pretty cool. I feel like that's when people maybe started taking me a little more serious as a real skater or something.
That's huge. Wait, he just hit you up? You got a phone call from Andrew Reynolds?
Yeah, I think it was originally Slash just kept texting me like weird stuff. I don't know if you guys know Slash, but he's definitely like a character, and he would just text me out of nowhere, just text me like Baker or Death Wish, and I hadn't talked to him in like maybe a month or something, and I was like, dude, like I understood what he was hinting at, but I'm like, that how do I even respond to that text message? So I was just not hitting back, and then Andrew hit me up. I forget when someone said they were with them when they were talking about it. It was at like a Zoomies 100K or something, like him, Andrew, and some people were talking about it, and someone I knew was there and overheard it. And then that kind of it kind of happened maybe like a week after that, maybe, or something.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Epic collab,
Yeah.
man.
But I mean, I knew Andrew, so it was, you know, he was like literally used to babysit me when I was 4 years old, and he rode for Birdhouse, and
That's
you know,
crazy.
but it was still cool. Like, I mean, I hadn't talked to him probably in, I don't know, a little while, so it was definitely on different terms this time versus just like, oh, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how old were you when it sank in that your dad was/is the biggest legend in skateboarding, man?
Man, I don't know. I feel like it still hits me daily sometimes, and I don't know. I think just seeing people's reactions when they just see him in public makes me realize every day how crazy people like idolize him, and just how important he was to so many people's lives. It's pretty wild. But I think I've talked about it before, but I think the video games is when things just went like absolutely crazy in our day-to-day life. That's when his face was just like a, you know, household face and name, and it was no longer he was a skater. He was like a Michael Jordan or a Tiger Woods type character, and that definitely changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because we ask so many people, like, well, everyone how they got into skating, and like it's a crazy percentage of people that were just, oh yeah, I was just playing the game, and then, you know, decided to step on a skateboard. Like that game
Crazy.
got so many people into skating.
Yeah, I mean, I was
so sick.
I was old enough when he brought home the first, like, it was a blank like game disc with no background on the levels, just ramps, and you could just skate. And he was like, me and him would just sit there and play it, and I didn't have any concept of what he was creating. I just thought it was cool that you had a skate video game, or he was working on one. And yeah, I mean, I don't think him or anyone could have ever, it's just one of those perfect moments in time where like everything culturally lines up, and it just hits in a way that you can't plan, or you can't like market that. It just happens.
Yeah, so sick. I definitely still remember like my first summer skating, playing that game at homies sleepovers and stuff. Like it's part of so many people's introduction to skating.
For
awesome.
sure.
Video
I mean,
clips that
I
all the
played it.
skaters had, like,
So sick. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it rung true to skateboarding, and even how big it got, it still was always like core, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And they picked
You
the
definitely-
sickest skaters.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When you played, did you use your dad or use someone else?
I think I would play as, trying to remember. I feel like I played as Rowley a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think I just
That's what I was gonna guess.
I grew up watching Sorry, because I was, you know, Birdhouse and Flip were in Blitz distribution, so like I was around that era a lot, and I think I was like 10 when Sorry came out, and that movie was just around because I was around my dad who worked with Blitz and everything. So watching Sorry when I was a kid definitely had a lot of influence on like that video game and the way I wanted to skate and what I thought skating was, I guess.
Sick. So in the early days, what was it like getting sponsored for you? Did you feel like you had to go extra hard to feel like you earned it? Because it's obviously you could get shit for free through your dad, but when it came to
Yeah.
you getting sponsored, what was that like in the early days?
Man, I feel like I look back and I'm like, I don't even know. I think I was just like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit or like, I wasn't really, I think there was a point where I was like trying to be that kind of person, like looking for sponsors because I was skating with like Figgy and David Loy and Colin Provost and all these kids who were just like these prodigies that were actually getting sponsored at the time. And I was like average at best at skating at that point in my life, I guess. I was always doing so much other stuff that I just didn't focus on skating like they did, I guess. But I mean, they were Smith grinding El Toro when they were like 14 years old. And I was like rolling
Yeah.
up to 9-stair handrails, like trying to board slide it. So I was not in the same league as them. But yeah, I don't know. I think that was one of those times where I was trying and I realized I just wanted to just skate. And I think once I found like my own crew of homies, which ended up being like Kirby and, Stephen Loy or AJ and like Rowan, all those guys, it just naturally happened more easily because we were just skating and like progressing with each other.
Mm-hmm. So how did the conversation about getting on Birdhouse go down, man? Did your dad make you show him a tape or, did extra tours around
honestly.
the house?
I think about it. If I think back, I honestly don't even know. I feel like he just asked if I wanted to skate the boards. And then I think at a certain point they were kind of going through this so much transition of team and stuff. And by that point I was probably like 15 and skating decent enough to just be like, a flow skateboarder, I guess. So it was just made sense. And like I said, like Jaws and David Loy and those dudes all skated for the team and those are my homies. So yeah, I don't know. I think it just kind of just made sense, and I was just there, just right place, right time, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think if I had the last name, I would have been on Birdhouse at that time of my life, that's for sure. But hey, I'll take it.
A little nepotism never hurt. And it's not like
Yeah,
you didn't prove yourself after.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I feel like skating in the nepotism thing isn't as common, but you see a lot of celebrities and movie stars that are doing just fine. So they got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you just mentioned them, but you're like OG Shep Dog's crew.
Yeah.
What's the origin story of the crew and you being one of them?
I met Jacob, who filmed them all, my homie, that he works for NHS now, but we went to elementary school together and we both just had skateboards in like 4th grade. So naturally we just saw each other and we're like, oh, sick. Like, let's skate. I think there was like probably 5 or 6 people that skated in our school at that time. And so we would bring a flat bar after school and just skate this little like tennis court area. And then, there was a skate park that was just super shitty in Carlsbad that was right next to the police station. And we would just go there from sun up to sundown once we kind of were able to convince my mom or whoever to give us a ride over there. And then that's where we met like Rowan and some of the other dudes from kind of different areas. Cause before Instagram or any of that stuff, I don't even know who lived in my area. You just kind of show up to the skate park and hope some other people are there. But it is kind of crazy that, so many kids from that small area ended up being so good at skating. But that, and then like Castle is how I met Kirby, like the Castle contest. And then trying to think of, just like there was just such a gnarly scene of skaters in Southern California, like kids at that time, like Taylor Smith, who we met through skating at like the YMCA. And yeah, it's crazy. There was just like, maybe I feel like there's more parks in our area than most places. So San Diego's kind of always had a leg up on that. And you could just kind of bounce around from skate park to skate park and meet kids. And just like, that's how you became homies, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's how skate crews are formed, man, at the skate park.
Yeah, straight up. We would literally get dropped off at like 9 a.m. and get picked up at like 8 p.m. just all day.
Dude, I joke about it, but skate parks are like free childcare, man. Like
Oh, for
parents can
sure.
just, you're good there for a day. Here's like a couple bucks for some pizza. Like you guys will be fine
Dude, that's so funny because there was literally like one pizza place that would deliver there, and
here.
we just had no concepts of like tipping or anything. And like half the time we'd be like $4 short of like what the pizza owed, and he shows up and just so pissed. Like, but I think too, because it was right next to the police station, I'm sure a lot of parents were cool with
Yeah.
letting us be there. But yeah, so funny.
Hmm. Can you tell us about the Shep Dogs RV tour?
Yeah, that was like
Big budget.
one of these weird times where Scion, the cars, was just, I think they were going bankrupt and just throwing money at anything they could find that
God.
seemed cool. But they literally were, they went out of business, I think, a few years later, but they just had a weird like marketing media side that this guy Daniel I knew worked for, and somehow they just gave us, I think it was like 10 grand to go on this like
Damn.
just a skate trip pretty much. And like, I don't even,
What
it was
the
kind of
hell?
right at the beginning of like Instagram, like being actually utilized as something that now what you see it as like a
Mhm.
marketing tool. And so they were like, just post like clips of you guys skating, you know, and like tag Scion and stuff. We're like, what the hell? This is crazy. Like, yeah, say less. We'll do that. And then so we just rented a big RV, and it was just kind of like bat signal out, like, dude, like we can fit as many people as we want on this thing, whoever wants to come. And it was pretty cool. I mean, we were just skating all across like we went up to like Portland and then cut over to like Salt Lake City and all these areas, and people were just skating, and we were filming kind of like a Shep Dogs video, I think, at the time. And I remember, I think it was Kirby was just like on a psycho tear that whole trip, just like doing stuff that I know you've seen his video parts with, like, I think on that trip is when he like big spin that big 6 block in Salt Lake City that everyone skated. And then, yeah, I mean, he's just so gnarly. Like, I've never seen anyone that like focused when it comes to like when it's time to bust. It's pretty crazy.
Bro, 10 grand.
But yeah,
Are you kidding me?
was ridiculous. Like,
It wasn't
Just
even like a
give-
Scion RV or anything.
no, it was like
Just
a Cruise
random-
America fucking with the dog in the window and like the whole like wrap on the side of like the Moab desert. Like, it was ridiculous, which kind of worked in our favor because people thought it was like a family, and then the door would open and 16 like fucking skate rat kids roll out. And it was just like, what is going on? I remember at one point, I think we left a bar and there was like 40 people in the RV. It was crazy. It was just one of those trips that was, I remember, I think a cop showed up to a rail we were skating, Kirby 50/50, this pretty big rail, and the RV was just parked like all jacked, and there was just people everywhere, and the cops just pulled up and just almost were like, we don't even want to deal with this right now. And they just like kind of told us to like hurry up, and they just left. They're like, yeah, we're good on this.
Clean this shit up, man.
Yeah, it's just
Doesn't-
that time in your life where you can skate, drink, and everything just works out great, and you don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
That's an interesting tactic by them to be going bankrupt, and instead of being like, all right, let's be smarter with our money.
Fuck.
Let's
Maybe that
throw
was
it
the
at
nail in the
skaters.
coffin. Maybe they saw
Yeah.
that and they're like, you gave 10 grand to get these Instagram clips out of this.
They
They
were
weren't
ahead
they
of the
didn't have it
game.
dialed yet. Yeah, they
The
were.
Instagram
honestly.
marketing was like, you know,
Yeah,
front
that was
lines.
pretty early on. I mean, that was probably almost 10 years ago, maybe.
mm-hmm. Fuck.
So yeah, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So more from that crew, I'm assuming you guys had a skate house, the one that's in your active day in the life, where you tattooed a hawk logo on someone.
Yeah, that was actually my house. That one, that was like a little
okay.
later. That was my house. Yeah, I think I lived there for like 8 years, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, that was like a house that I bought when I was 21 because my dad was smart and told me what to do with my money rather than just blow it. Yeah.
And any fun stories from the skate house though before that?
I mean, the one before that we all lived in, they called it like the Shep Dogs Mansion because it was just like, it was so weird. It was this house that was, I don't even think we ever got the real story, but the owner, so we had this homie that his name was Tyler Hayward. He was in some of the early Shep Dogs videos, and he was like he was a skater, but he didn't know anything about skating, didn't give a fuck about like actually skating. Like, he's probably never even seen a skate video in his life, but like was good at skating. But his dad knew some guy with his house that was in foreclosure, and they needed, like, I think he needed money to pay the back taxes or something. And so he just let all of us move in there, and it was in this like HOA gated community. And it was fucking insane that this neighborhood had to deal with us for like 2 years because it was literally like the picturesque, like white picket fence family neighborhood that everyone, you know, they work their entire lives to get there. And then all of a sudden, like just 12, 18-year-old skate kids move in. And like, I think I was renting the main room because I was the only one who was making like kind of some money at the time. I think I was paying like $600 for like a bedroom with 2 sinks, like huge shower. Like it was like a full like mom and dad like set up. And I was just in there like 18 years old, like this is sick, like whatever. And so we just naturally had whoever wanted to stay there. It was like textbook skate house, but we made like, I think 2 videos while we lived there, and it definitely played like a big role in everyone, like the transition. Like, I don't think Rowan was not allowed to stay over because I think his parents, I think, had to be like in contact with someone's parents. Cause I mean, we were 18, so I think Rowan was 15 maybe or 16. And, I don't think he ever stayed there, but he would come over and kick it.
That's fucking awesome.
That's a dream,
Yeah, it's
right
pretty
there.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Dude, it was
2
pretty
years.
cool. And it was funny because everyone thought it had something to do with me and my dad, but it literally had nothing to do with me. I just happened to live there with all of them. Like, I think the people in the neighborhood, like, were probably damn near ready to, like, go fucking call my dad or find my dad and be like, what the fuck's going on? But I was
had nothing to do
mellow
with it.
because I didn't even drink or party really. I just like smoked weed and skated. But I mean, you get more than 10, 18-year-olds together, there's going to be, it's a party every night. Like there's something going on every single
It's
night.
going to turn to 20 to 30 in no time, man.
Oh yeah. That was like the average weekend over there for sure.
You have any like memorable run-ins with the neighbors?
Man, I think I would just try to like put my head down and just get to my car because I wasn't the guy really partying. And so the last thing I wanted to deal with was like the repercussions in the morning. And I would just like, I think I would just try to like wave maybe, or like, I think they just didn't even bother, man. They were just like, shake the head. Like our grass was just a completely dead lawn. Everyone else's is like picture perfect, like green grass homeowners association. And I honestly cannot believe it lasted as long as it did because it was ridiculous.
Why did it end? You guys just moved out, or?
I think it was something was coming up with like the end of the foreclosure or something. And the homie's dad that got the spot like came over one day and saw like the catastrophe that had gone down inside the house. And like at one point people were just using the wall as like a throwing knife wall and like stuff like shit like that. You know, it got to the point where it was just like the dark party times. And by that point, the people who didn't really want to party, like me and Kirby and some of the other homies, were like, dude, we need to get the fuck out of here. Like it's going bad. Like anything does, you know, just full Lord of the Flies. And so we we were like, we got to get out of here. And then I think after the dad came over and saw what was going on in there, he had a freak out, and it kind of just fell apart after that.
Yeah. So you and your brother Tanner, fellow professionals these days, how'd it feel to see your brother go pro, man?
That was really cool. I mean, I was super stoked because I feel like nowadays, or at least, I feel like earlier in like skating, it was pretty much like a wrap if you didn't turn pro by like 23, 24, you know, and now it's just different. And so it was pretty cool to get to see him get that late shine because he's just been so good for so long. And like, he's just a full just skate rat. Like all he does is eat, sleep, and think about skating. And so it was pretty sick to just see him get the love. And I mean, like I get flowed shoes from him now, so it's full circle.
That's epic, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I mean, like with my mom and with my sister and like my wife had never seen any like type of thing like that. Like she doesn't know anything about skating. And so it was like you know, the surprise party bus, and we pulled up and he came in, and it was just like a cool moment for sure.
That's epic.
That's wicked. Shout out Tanner.
Yeah, you mentioned getting flowed shoes from him. You put in 17 years with Lakai, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, I know. I was
Loyalty.
tripping.
Definitely a bummer. Yeah, when a core brand like that goes down. But how'd you find out, and any plans going forward?
Man, it was like weird because I was sitting in this room. This is like kind of like it's like an office at our house where it's just like my shit and whatever stuff. But I was like feeding my son, and I get like a call from Rick, and like a call from him out of the blue is kind of weird. Like if anyone knows Rick, he's not the one who's like generally just giving you a call out of the blue. So I was like, oh, it's kind of weird. And then I see a text that's like him and Mike in a group chat, like, yo, Riley, like it's, give me a call when you get the chance. And I just like knew right there for some reason. I was like, damn, I think this is it. Like, I think they're about to tell me that Lakai's done. I didn't think like they were calling me to be like, you're kicked off the team just because that's not the kind of people that they are. I didn't think they were going to, kick me off. I just assumed that something was going on like that. And so he called me, and it was like three-way call, and they just kind of gave me the rundown of what happened, where, the ownership change happened, lots of things that I don't even really understand, to be honest. But, they pretty much were like, everyone's getting, they said we got let go. We don't even work there anymore. The homie Steve's, who was the TM, he got let go. This other dude, Ernie, and it was just kind of like, this is what happened, and we're not even owners or like affiliated anymore, and we're just letting you know. And so I was instantly right there. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm just quitting then, I'm not going to stick around if like Rick and Mike aren't there. And it was just weird. Like, it was just a weird, I feel like, kind of miscommunication between all these people that I didn't even really know what was going on. I just knew that whatever was happening, I was trusting Rick and Mike, and just like they gave me everything in skating, and like I was going to, ride or die by them, or whatever the case was. So yeah, the dude whoever's this new owner, he hit me up, and I don't know, his vibe was just weird. I never met him, and like he just made it like his initial text was something like, oh, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Like Rick and Mike wouldn't let me get a hold of you or whatever. And like, I want to talk to you. And I just told him, I was just like, dude, honestly, like I, like respect to whatever you're doing, but this is like my time to depart from this brand, because it's just not like the brand that I was a part of. So I wasn't gonna, because there was people talking a lot of shit on him and this and that, and I wasn't gonna, I don't know, get petty or get involved in anything. I was just like, yeah, like just a clean exit for me. Like, sorry about it, but this is when I leave. So good luck to you and whatever you're trying to do with the brand.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't even realize that. So they're trying to keep it going, the new ownership?
Something like that. I don't know. I mean, I think he was trying to like create it, set it up like some kind of Instagram influencer vibe type brand, where it's like, dude, I really don't even know. I think that dude doesn't even know what he was trying to do either.
It got a little bit messy on social media there with
the back and like,
forth.
I remember Rick called me because I hadn't said anything online. I trip on how like people just find out shit so fast. Like, it's crazy in skateboarding. Like I don't even talk to anyone, and people like knew that I know, and like I come home at like 5 p.m. and I'm with my lady and our kid, and like I don't really like talk like that about my business too much, at least on the internet for sure. And then that he like posted something about all this stuff, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then Rick called me that day when that dude posted it, and he was just like bummed because Rick is so kind of, I don't know, like to himself and doesn't want to be involved in anything like that. And and I was just like, yeah, I mean, well, whatever hopes he had of doing anything, he just like nuked himself right there. Like, I don't know what he thought, I don't know what benefit he thought that was going to do for him. And then it just turned into like a weird, like, felt like weird, like 2020, like cancellation Instagram type vibes. And I was like, this is fucking way different than what I'm trying to be a part of right now. And so that just really put the nail in the coffin for me of being like, yeah, I'm like, peace out, I'm good. And then I said something online because I think people were just confused, and I think people were wondering a lot about if the pros were going to get paid if they bought their shoes and this and that. Like, fans were like hitting me up and hitting up other riders about, well, if I buy your shoe, like who's getting the money? And it was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, messy.
And to be honest, I still don't even know about that stuff. Like, I don't even know if they're making my shoe. Like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Any plans for a next shoe sponsor, or just chilling for now?
Man, honestly, like, I'm just like, my brother got me some Nikes, and like they sent me a fucking huge box. I was surprised, honestly. And I don't know, at this point, like, I'm down to just be like the flow homie. Like, it kind of feels weird almost, like even chasing like a spot on a team when it's like I'm kind of like outdated as it is. Like, I don't know, it just seems bizarre when there's so many kids that are so good and like just kind of getting into their prime. Like, it feels weird wanting to kind of take a slot from someone like that. And I'm just happy just skating, just if I can just get free Nikes, because I actually like skating them. I bought a few different pairs of shoes, and Nikes were the ones that I kind of actually enjoyed skating. And so if I'm going to buy shoes or get free shoes just to get them, I would like ones that I want to actually be in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe run these till they're all torn up and see if my brother could get me some more.
Yeah, I think your brother's plugged in, man. You'll be
Dude,
all
yeah,
right.
he's in the crew. He's part of the cool crew for sure.
For sure. Can you tell us about the time you spray painted your bike next to Tanner's dad's tools, man? How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, I remember I spray painted. I had like a blue dirt bike at the time, and I always wanted like a Suzuki dirt bike, and so I just got some yellow spray paint and just fucking went to town on it. And I was always kind of doing random shit like that. Like, I just wanted to, like, I don't know, like, not make art, but just use, I don't know, like paint shit. And I never wanted stuff to just be like stock. I was always like, I just wanted to fuck with it for some reason. I think maybe got some overspray on the tools, and yeah, I don't think Mike, my stepdad and his dad was too hype, but Mike was the one that got me into dirt bikes, so I guess it kind of bit him in his own ass right there. But no, he's the man. But yeah, just dumb kid shit. Like,
Iron Maiden, Metallica, AC/DC, Ozzy, and Judas fucking Priest. You have been thrown around and headbanged at all their concerts on several occasions. You have been the jewel in the crown next to the jeans vest with the patches. Together, you two have made your owner a true metalhead. And now it's all over. He met someone in a bar, lied on the first date, and claimed Bruno Mars to be his favorite artist. Things people say to get in between the sheets. However, she bought it, and they went home together, fell in love, and now he must live his lie and is shaving you off. The vest is sold on eBay, while you are sold on buyandsellhair.com for $2,000 USD. No wonder, you look good. And that is that. He packs you up in a box, which is later picked up by a truck heading west. Right before you reach your destination, there is a big crash. You're thrown up in the air, and as you land back on the ground, you feel the smell of fire. And you know if it reaches you, you're gone in seconds. Everyone knows hair burns faster than Usain Bolt runs, and he is one fast runner. Lucky for you, the next sound you hear is the sound of a water hose in full effect. As the water hits your box, and you know you are saved, but also turned into a small wet hairball, like a wet guinea pig, this is not what the buyer wanted. She wanted $2,000 USD worth of long, beautiful hair, not a wet guinea pig that smells like fire. She throws you into the trash. While you are lying there reflecting on how your life has been a roller coaster over the last couple days, you feel someone picking you up. This ride doesn't seem to be over. The person picking you up is none other than Weekend Skateboard's founder, Grant Yansura. He is out looking for props for his next video, and hair is apparently the one thing he needs. Before you know it, you're dyed white and glued onto Jordan Taylor's face, as he is playing the role of skateboarding's Gandalf the Great, looking for their next pro in Europe. The video is a success, and to remember it, you are framed and placed on the wall of the Weekend Warehouse, a warehouse where they play bands like Iron Maiden, Metallica, AC/DC, Ozzy, and Judas fucking Priest. You are back where you started, and who made sure Grant came up with the idea of making a video with skateboarding Gandalf, therefore went looking for hair in trash cans? You know who did. CHPO did. the worldwide leader in sunglasses and watches. CHPO brand, always doing it for the people.
So we touched on it a bit earlier, but despite like having your dad and Birdhouse to lean on, felt like from the outside looking in, you kind of wanted to carve your own path in skating a bit and left Birdhouse for Baker. But what was it like quitting? And then there's all the history of, you know, Andrew riding for for Birdhouse, starting Baker, and then you getting a little older and making the move. What was going on behind the scenes around that time?
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly kind of hard. Like, that was not an easy thing to just like hit up my dad. And I think I kind of danced around it for a few weeks, and it was weird. It felt like breaking up with like a girlfriend or something. Like, it was so
exactly
bizarre.
what it is, basically, man.
Yeah, and it was more just like, I remember I think we just got done with a big Birdhouse tour, and it was just like a crazy time in life where there was just a lot going on. And then I hit him up, and I think I went over to his house, and we just like, I think he kind of knew what was going on, and so we just talked about it. And at the end of the day, he was just like, do whatever you think is going to be good for you as your own person and like your skate career. But he just said, you know, don't go do something just because it seems like the new, like, bright, shiny thing that you want to just like change something. He's like, do it because it's something you want to do. And he obviously knew who Baker and Andrew and everything, so he like understood it. But I think he was just trying to give some like life advice on just, you know, trying to, if you're going to do it, like, this is like something you got to like see through, and don't kind of always just chase the new or next like thing that comes your way just because maybe someone offers you this position in like a cool new company or whatever. And I think Baker was actually going to even pay me a little more than Birdhouse was at the time. And so it was kind of like he stood it on both levels of like a business move and just like a lifestyle move for myself. So, but yeah, it was a pretty tricky, like, it wasn't easy to talk about it for sure.
Yeah, that's some good advice though, because I mean, you did see it through. You've been on Baker for over a decade now. So
yeah, I think I got on when I was 17. Yeah, that was another thing with like Lakai and like Nike and those brands. I was like, I think if Nike wanted me on a team, I would have got a call a long time ago and tried to get picked off of Lakai, because I saw a lot of guys getting plucked out of the, you know, the woodworks from Lakai. And so I was like, yeah, I don't think they really want me to be on Nike that bad, because if they did, I probably would have got hit up a long time ago.
You were surrounded by skate royalty at the Baker camp, like Reynolds, Ellington, Greco, you name it. It's legends everywhere. What was it like being surrounded by those guys, man, and going on trips and being in videos with them?
It was cool. I mean, when I got on, it was still like pretty prime, like, era, like Baker 3 team, still kind of in the first beginning there. It was, I think the first trip I went on, we went up to like NorCal, and it was like me. Oh man, I'm trying to think. It was me, Spanky, Andrew, Braden, Figgy.
Damn.
Maybe like John Dixon, Lizard King. Like, it was just the crew. It was like the people you grew up kind of worshiping as a kid if you were into like the Baker days. And yeah, it was definitely wild just being around them in that situation, just because I'd been around Andrew and stuff my whole life kind of, but it was just different because now I was like there as like a person on the team. I felt like I was kind of, I don't know, there was more responsibility or something. It was just different. And I remember I got pretty sick on that trip, and I just tried to like power through it, because I was like, fuck, first trip, and I'm like already sick. And but I didn't really drink or anything in that time, so I was kind of more just like laid back, quiet, and definitely a different vibe than most of the dudes on the team, but it just kind of worked for whatever reason.
Nice. Was Antoine Dixon still in the mix at the time?
No, I don't think he was. I think that was a little bit after, so I wasn't quite around during that, like, the full Baker 3, like, dream team situation.
Damn, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah, because like right when I got on, they pretty much were finishing up Bake and Destroy, and I just had a lot of footage filmed with Jacob already. So it kind of just went to that. And it was like, it all happened pretty quick. It was like, got hit up, got a box, and then went on a trip. And then it was like maybe less than a year later, Bacon Destroy came out. So yeah, it happened pretty fast.
Sick. Speaking of skate royalty, your pops, do you happen to have a Tony Hawk story that the people may not have heard? A fun one?
Man, I don't know. I was just thinking about this one because me and him were talking about it recently, but just because I have a son now, and like when I go skate and like, I don't know, I get broke off or something, I come home and like I gotta still like take care of my son. But I remember my dad was telling me, I think I must have been in preschool maybe, and he had me at the time because my parents split up when I was really young, so it was his like turn to have me, and I guess he was trying to do the 900 at a ramp. I forget where, some indoor ramp. And this was like, this would have been probably 95. So he was like, still just, it was, you know, the hunt of the 900 or whatever his fuck was going on between him and Taz Papas and the whole drama. But he was trying to do a 900, and I guess he like over rotated one super bad and fell and like broke a few ribs. And he still had to come and pick me up from preschool, and I was just like a toddler and like just had no concept of what he just went through, you know, and he didn't even obviously say it because I'm like a kid, and just like in hindsight, it's just so funny to think about like he was trying this like monumental like trick to skateboarding that is talked about to this day, and then just gets bodied and has to come pick me up from preschool and like entertain me as a toddler. Yeah. And it just like puts so much perspective into my world of like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Damn. Have you had that one happen to you where you like got bodied and then you're on daddy duties?
Not a good one yet, but I've been like pretty sore coming home, and you just like, all right, just leave it at the door, just come in and go into dad mode. But no, it's the best. It's like, it just made me just have so much more respect for how hard he was still like pushing skateboarding, even when he wasn't in a place where it was giving him much back, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's epic.
Yeah, it was funny.
So obviously we love sports over here at the Bunt. You got to do something super special and throw out the first pitch at a Padres game. What was that like, man?
It was pretty funny because they hit me up, and originally I just said no because I was just like, I don't know. I was like, dude, I'd like, why? I don't have any like reason to be out there doing that. Like, it's not my, I don't know, not my like type of world of like, I'm not that type of status of person to throw out a first pitch. But I think they have some kind of dude that is like doing action sports marketing for them. They want like, San Diego wanted more action sports like people to do it. And my dad had done it, so they had like a good relationship. And then they like hit us up again. They hit me up through Lakai somehow. Someone knew someone at Lakai or something, and Steve's, who was the TM, just kept hitting me up about it. And I was like, well, fuck, if they'll get us like, you know, like a cool suite to watch the game, because like I have, you know, a bunch of homies that would want to go, then I'm down, because I don't want to just, you know, make my dad and people sit in like normal seats out there, because for him it can be rough, like in a public setting like that, where it's just people coming up to him all day. Like, it's crazy, especially there when it's, you know, people are like, oh shit, it's him, and then they'll probably put him on freaking Jumbotron, and then it's like a whole thing. But so they were super cool, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you a little suite and whatever. And then so I just said yeah, and did some practice days with my homie who plays catch with some people and stuff. And yeah, I like didn't really think much of it, and then it kind of hit more when I was there, like, oh fuck, like this is, I was like, dude, I can't 50 cent this thing, I gotta get this thing down the middle. I was like, dude, it was one of those throws, it was just average enough to no one's gonna talk about it, no one's gonna remember it, and that's exactly
what you need, man.
That's what I needed. But yeah, because I was like a pitcher when I was a kid, so like I still had the form a little bit, but it was funny because we were sitting down on the field forever, and it was so damn hot, and they handed me the ball, and my hands were all sweaty, and I was like, oh shit, like this thing is gonna freaking yeet out of my hands to the side right now. Like, I gotta get this thing down the middle. And I think I hit the ground maybe like a foot before the plate, but I was just like, fuck it, went down the middle. And
it's
like
there.
It got over there. And then I remember this dude who, I go to this buddy who's like a personal trainer, like kind of guy, and I do just like strength and conditioning stuff just to keep my body and he was there with me, but I remember a couple people he knew like hit him up like, damn, your boy spiked it. And I was just like, fuck, because they saw me like practicing the throws in the fitness area when I would be there. And yeah, it was funny though. It was a really cool day though. Like those guys are awesome. And Kyle, who was the catcher, he's like a skate fan kind of. So they were like just stoked. And I think they just pretended like they knew who I was, but they were like super cool either way.
That's sick. So you kind of hit the Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if you saw his first pitch, but it sounded way worse than yours because he hit the ground maybe like 10, 15 feet before.
Yeah. No, luckily I measured out 60 feet with the homie a few weeks before, and I got a real gauge of where I was going to be throwing it from, because in my head 60 feet was not that close. But at the same time, I saw TJ Rogers throw, and I was like, damn, that was pretty bad. Like, I love TJ, but he threw a pretty gnarly throw. Someone said he had a hurt hand, so I'm not going to hate on him for it, but I was just like, whoa, like, that's crazy. Because I think people just, maybe you just don't think about it, like, and then you show up and the mountain's far as fuck. Like, it's way farther than you think. So, but TJ's the man. I love him. But I think it was because Skate Mafia is like SD, and he just got on, so they got him in there too.
Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah.
So you used to ride for one of the greatest teams ever assembled. The infamous,
I knew something about this would come up for sure.
The infamous Asphalt Yacht Club. You have any Stevie stories or any stories from that crazy ass crew? That
endless.
actually was one of the great teams put together.
That was insane. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
All-Stars.
that was like NBA All-Stars style, besides myself. But no, it was weird. So like the way it all went down was Stevie was starting the brand, and this dude, Jesse Fritsch. Do you know who Jesse Fritsch is? He was a vert skater, and anyways, he was friends with my dad, and he was kind of the guy that got brought in somehow to help do the brand for whatever reason. And for some reason, Stevie was like picked me out of all these people that he wanted to like be kind of the first. There was like three people. I think it was me, Stefan, and Stevie were like the first three that he wanted. And
That's it.
yeah, I was like, they sent over everything that they had going on with it, and I was just like, dude, honestly, like, this is pretty crazy. Like, this is not gonna work for me. Like, I think this would just be so like out of left field that people will just be confused by this situation. And so I said no at first for a bit, and then they just like kept raising the offer and stuff. And at one point I was finally like, at that point things were just switching to like HD kind of from the VX, and like the lenses were expensive as hell for the HBX, you know, the big like windshield one or whatever, at least at the time. And for like Jacob, who was my homie, like he didn't really have much money, and so I was like, if you buy Jacob this lens and then like this is the offer you guys have with the money, like I'll do it. And so like next thing I knew, the lens showed up, and I was like, all right, well, fuck it, we're doing it.
That's
Because like we needed to film in HD, and he didn't have the lens, and so it was just like not many people had that lens at that time. Like you couldn't just buy that. Now it's so common to have a homie with a HD lens and a fisheye. So yeah, we were just like, all right, well, I guess we're doing it. And honestly, Stevie was like one of the coolest fucking dudes I ever like met. Like he was so funny for some reason. Me and him had like a sense of humor that really clicked together. And man, that dude would crack me up. That dude was like really funny. Like I just expected his persona to be so different, you know. And God, it was really fun going on trips with those guys. I remember the first big trip we went to Miami, and they rented this insane like Scarface house that was on the water. Like I think you could actually see the Scarface house. And ironically enough, there were so many people that I ended up sleeping on the couch because there was just like not that many bedrooms. And I was like, I didn't give a shit. I would think I was like 19 or 20 at the time, and like just didn't care. And yeah, man, Stevie like brought his black Ferrari, parked it in the driveway, and like he was just running it up in Miami. It was pretty sick to see.
That's so sick.
I remember he came back one night because I was on the couch, so he would be like out partying. He came back one night and with like all these just like super like clean cut like Miami like club type people, and he's like telling him it's his crib and like all this stuff. And like, I'm just like on the couch, like one eye open, just like watching everything go down. Like, this is insane. And then he like came over, and I was just talking with Ryan Allen. We and him were shooting a Brixton thing the other day, because Ryan Allen was the team manager for a little bit. Yeah. And he was on the trip, and he was cracking up because Stevie came over. He's like, woke me up. He's like, Riley. I'm like, whoa, what's up? What's good? And then he's like, nah, I'm gonna let you sleep. He just like, he like dapped me up. Like, I think he like thought I was gonna be down to just like get up and start partying with him. It was like 4 a.m. and I was just like, I didn't even really drink at that time, and I'd skated all day. Like, dude, he's the best. He'd show up on the trips with no skateboard, and like Jesse would have to like come up with these elaborate plans to like get him to a skate shop so they could buy him a complete. Like I remember I think we were in New York, and Jesse's like, all right, we're gonna go to the skate shop and like go get you a board, Stevie. We were filming one of those skate park roundup things, and Stevie's like, nah, we're going to Lids. Like, he wanted to go to the hat store and just like get some hats. And Jesse's like, okay, but like after that we're going to the skate shop. And he just like, it was so funny, man. Like, the way that dude operated was the best. Like, just classic like superstar skateboarder, you know? Like, it was crazy. Like that, I feel like that doesn't really exist too much anymore.
Yeah, fuck. He's built different, man. I don't know if you guys saw his post the other day. It was like a compilation of stuff at that plaza. What's it called again?
Jaquan.
And like I forgot about some of the stuff he's been doing there, like switch 503 flip, like perfect and stuff. Like, he still got it.
I mean,
so sick.
dude, I grew up watching like the DC video, and if you could have told me like that dude would be like waking me up on the couch at 4 a.m. like trying to get me to kick it with him, I'd be like, dude, there's no way. But I remember I saw him maybe, I think it was like a year and a half ago at the Zoomies 100K or whenever it was. And I hadn't seen him or talked to him in a long time. I don't think we ever even talked in person when the whole thing kind of fell apart. And so I never even really knew like how he felt about it. But as soon as I was just like saw him, I was like, Stevie. And he was just like so hyped, just like dapped me up the biggest, like, yeah, like he was like the boy. I was like, what? Sick. Like, I just didn't know how he would feel after everything went down, you know? But it was pretty cool.
How awesome. Did it go down? How did it end at AYC?
Dude, I don't even, like, seriously, I don't even know. Like, I think it's just, they kept lowering the money, and then finally I was just like, dude, like, this is not the brand that I signed up to be on, you know? And so I think everyone, when the contracts came up, a lot of people were just like, yeah, I'm good on signing again, and just kind of jump ship.
It's sick though, just to have that era and those memories. Like, I feel like
it was
if
fun.
you could go back, would you do it again? Because it sounds like it was pretty fucking epic.
For sure, just for that trip alone, just for 6 days in Miami in a freaking Scarface house with all that.
Did you get
like,
to rip around in the Ferrari?
No, but they rented a yacht, and we like went on the yacht, and like the funniest part is, I guess me and Ryan were talking about it the other day, is Stevie had this like uncle, I think, that like was just like his roll dog that was at the house. And like, this was before, I think, Airbnb. It was when you had to go through like these luxury like rental property companies, and the homie, his uncle, wouldn't leave. Like, the people showed up and like he fully like Leon'd it from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He just like was like moving in, and they were like, dude, this guy won't leave, like calling Stevie, and Stevie just like, I don't know. And they were calling Ryan too, because Ryan was the TM, and he's like, dude, I don't know what to do. And then the dude just wouldn't leave the crib.
It's like, Stevie told me this is his house, man.
Yeah, like, dude, it's his crib. He told me.
Bro, real life Leon. That's amazing.
Dude, insane.
Yeah.
Dude, Area 51. You ever been? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I did for some, I think it was a Vice thing, I think. Vice, maybe? They hit us up, and yeah, I don't even know. It was weird. Like, they hit up me and Kirby, and they offered to give us some money to like go film a Vice thing. I forget the kid's name, but he has like a show that's pretty popular on Vice where he goes to like the 1-star rated like Yelp places and like sees if they're as bad as people think. And he was actually super cool. But I remember they surprised us with Richie Jackson as like the third guy. And I remember Kirby was just like not hyped. For whatever reason, Kirby was just like, just so over Richie Jackson, like within the first 4 minutes of meeting him, just like, no, like, we got to be in a van with this dude for the next like 2 days. Like, I don't know what it was, but he was just not feeling him. And I think it was just because Richie was like turning it up for the camera because it was like a Vice thing or something. But yeah, it was funny. And we like went out there. It was during when like everyone was gonna storm it or something, or like try to run through. You remember that? There was like a weird thing going on, and so we went out there, and I think it was they were trying to figure out if you could skate something at Area 51 or something like that, and they just set up some like launch ramp, and I think we like bonked like a little guardrail or something, like 50-50'd it. But I mean, dude, we walked like right up to like as far as you're allowed to go, and I just like stood there and just looked, and it just was just nothing. It was just a fucking road with a little like hazard like gate that goes up and down, and then that was it. And it was just like, well, here we are. This is it. Like trying to like make it seem cool, I guess, for this Vice thing they're trying to do, but it was pretty funny.
That's sick. What can you tell us about Vert Mondays and Channing Tatum?
Vert Mondays was like all these homies that just wanted to skate the vert ramp at my dad's office, and so it was just like a bunch of street dudes would go and just try to like do frontside 5.0s and lean to tail slides and stuff. And there's a couple homies that were pretty good, and yeah, the homie Chris would just always call the channel over the thing Channing Tatum for some reason, and he would be like talk about tricks he wanted to do like over Channing Tatum, and that was like his little like pun for the channel. But it was pretty fun. It was cool. I learned how to do an invert. Yeah, Channing Tatum was not involved in Vert Mondays whatsoever, but as an actual guest. But yeah, I learned how to do like an eggplant during that time, which was pretty cool. And
Damn.
I don't think I've done one since, but my dad's ramp is gnarly. I think it's 14 feet. So it's fucking big. Like trying to learn something on it is like ridiculous. Jeez. I just saw some footage that they just made the gap twice as big, and I saw some tricks that Tom Shard did on it that are unbelievable. Like, dude, it looked fake. My dad showed me the clips, and it was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
he's insane.
Like skating that like random Hardy's board in there the other day too, wasn't he?
Oh really? I don't know.
Yeah, Hardy's Hardware. They have like that fist board, and it's all fucked. Yeah. Skating
damn, that's
that
crazy.
Thing, like, yeah, we saw him in Australia, and I was actually mind blown by that guy.
It's like, insane. He's like in a different league right now. It's fucking crazy because the gap is I think 8 feet to begin with, so they doubled it, so it's 16 feet, and he was like skating it like a spot.
Jesus.
So you never had a vert phase when you were starting to skate, like trying to go skate with pops or anything?
I would like skate the vert ramps just because my dad would always take me to them, but I was more like early grab, below coping as a kid, just hyped to skate whatever. And then there's a point. I mean, I can like drop in and do like a backside air and a frontside 5.0 and a backsmith, but I'm not able to like just cruise the ramp like some dudes, you know. But I think nowadays it's so like most street dudes can just drop in and rip a vert ramp, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't think I ever had like a phase where I was trying to get better, like learning tricks. It was just kind of around.
That should probably help your skating, even just cruising a bit, because you skate hella like transition in the streets and shit. Yeah,
I mean, it's just like vert skating is one of those things where you don't slam too much, but when you do, it's fucking a big one. Remember, I like did a backside air a few years back. No, this probably would have been like almost like 8-10 years ago, and like a pretty good sized one, and I didn't have a helmet on or anything, and when I came in, my back foot slipped off and I just got bodied. Like one of those ones where you just bounce and kind of like have to come back to earth for a second and figure out what just happened, collect yourself, and you're like, whoa. And that one kind of shook me up, honestly, because it was all fun and games up until something like that happens.
Yeah, it's a reality check.
It's like there's no like bailing when you're that committed on a vert ramp. It's just boom, and then you're just bouncing off the flat bottom.
Crushed. What's up with Skate 3 and the Nick Trapasso part?
I want to say it was me, my brother, and a few homies were just kids, and we were just like watching those videos all the time, and everyone just kind of collectively like did one of those video parts where we just redid one of his parts on skate, like refilmed all the tricks, you know, when you're just a kid and you just have nothing better to do than just play Skate 3 for 9 hours out of the day. But so we like filmed something like, I think it was the Suffer the Joy video part, maybe, like me and my brother and a few people, and it was fun. It was just like, we go skate all day and then you go home at night and it's like, oh, I want to do the switchback 3, and it was like, we'd like argue over what tricks people wanted to try to do on the thing. But it was pretty cool. I mean, that video game was just so realistic to skating that you could feel like you were skating somehow. Like, I think I've seriously probably learned like concepts of tricks just off of that game, which is crazy.
Yeah. Double joystick changed the
so
game.
Fun though. Yeah, just such little kid stuff, like with your homies, just no internet really, just playing video games for fucking hours on end.
Good old days. Let's go back to Italy for a second. Watching some parts today. Can you take us behind the scenes on your front blunt 270 flip? What's that famous spot called?
The train station, I think it's.
Yeah.
I might have fucked that. I think it's the train station.
Central or something like that.
Yeah. That one was like pretty surprising. It happened pretty fast. I was like rolling away, just like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Because it was kind of like a pipe dream, just hucking him out there. And I think I stuck one out of nowhere, and I was like, whoa, I could maybe actually do that. And like just randomly, like honestly, probably less than like an hour and a half the first time trying it, just like somehow whipped one around and just was like, what the hell? And then ironically enough, we went back because I was there for like a few weeks for filming for that Lakai video that I was in. And we were staying at the homie Federico, who he's filmed like a bunch of Krail Tap stuff, but he was the main guy working for that video. And I was trying Smith hard flips on it, and I did one kind of sketchy, and then I tried it again and like fully fucked my left ankle up like super bad. I had to get surgery and stuff, and it was just kind of like I never even done a Smith hard flip. It was just like a weird second thought, and because we were just there all the time. And I think they actually ended up using the kind of sketchy one. I just like did it okay, but I was like, oh, we're just here. I could just keep trying it and do it, and then I just jacked the hell out of my ankle. And that same trip, Stevie Perez broke his hip, and we just were like, he got stuck, I think, in Milan for like 2 months because of that. Because they wouldn't let him fly, and he just was like living at Federico's mom's house, just like stuck. It was a gnarly. I remember I did the injury to my ankle, and I had done the same exact thing to my right, which ended up being I just tore the ATF ligament, like the main ligament in your ankle. And I just had a feeling it was the same thing because I did it to the other one. So I called my dad and told him what went down, and he helped me like switch my flight back to the next day. And I just was like, I'm fucking out of here, because if I get stuck here, like I'm going to lose my mind. So I just hopped on a plane and took a bunch of aspirin so I didn't get like a blood clot in my ankle.
How did that happen to Stevie?
It was, I want to say the clip is in the video somewhere, but he was like gap to grinding this kind of tall, like it was like a flat gap, but the thing you rolled on was maybe like shoulder high, like gap to back 50. And he like did the thing where the back truck doesn't make it all the way over. And he just kind of flew, but he landed on like this cobblestone ground, and it didn't really look that bad, but he landed weird, and it like just fucked his hip up super bad.
Damn. That sucks. But you cleaned up. You got the clips at least before.
We were there for a while. Like, I did that, and I think I did like, was it 180 backsmith, like Bennett grind across the grate. That one took fucking forever. That one was the battle, actually, of all the tricks that went down there. Because if you're skating it that way, I'm goofy. You have to like throw down in the street, and there's just so much traffic, and yeah, that was a nightmare, but it was cool. We went to like the coast of Italy and like stayed at Federico's homie's house and found all these spots that no one ever skated, and it was a super rad trip.
Hell yeah.
So what's next for Rally Hawk, man? What's the plans?
Man, I'm just skating. Like me and some homies have been working on a video that's just like a homie video. Like me and like Colin, Figgy, this homie Jake Braun. I don't know if you know Jake Braun. He skates for Converse and Strangelove, I believe. And he's insane. He skates for Brixton, so that's like how we kind of met, but he's insane. And then I'm trying to think who else. This homie Jono that we know. Just like random homies, but randomly the dude that people were getting most hyped on has been skating with us is Richie Belton, because he's like our homie, and
What?
he got all fired up, and he has like, because me and the homies have been editing the video together, and he's got like a decent amount of footage, and people are like tripping. They're like, what the fuck? Richie's fucking skating in the video? Like, he's the guy that everyone wants to see. Yeah, it's pretty
so
sick.
That's fucking
And he's just like
sick.
going for it. Like, dude, he's been getting down. It's pretty sick.
I loved him in One Step Beyond. I feel like
Oh, dude. Like, he's just the
sick style.
classic, like, so good, and it came so easy that it just didn't even, he never even wanted to keep skating because it was just too easy for him. He's just like,
Fuck.
this is just not even fun anymore.
sick. I'm hyped to peep that then, man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
wait.
it'll be cool. I think we're gonna put it out in February, and probably just put it on YouTube. I don't know, like nothing crazy. Not trying to, build up some crazy like marketing thing. Just throw it up and have a little premiere with the homies.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know that. And I was talking about it with one of my buddies who films, and I was just like, fuck, it'd be sick next year to just try to like at least get one of the little like skater of the year nominee things. So just try to skate my ass off and just see if I
Damn.
can put my hat in the, put my whatever hat in the bucket and just see if they'll be hype, but definitely no intentions of actually trying to win that election race. But it would be cool just to like have a sick year, like it's been a while. I feel like since I've just really gone all in for skating for like a full year, just cause it's just brutal on the body. And I've been through many surgeries at this point. So, but I'm feeling good skating and just putting in the work to try to keep the body healthy. So I'm trying to just do it while I can.
Fuck yeah, man. That sounds
That's
awesome.
sick.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say as a joke, I mean, you're starting the Richie Belton campaign early in February.
Yeah.
Get
For
him a
real.
nomination too.
Dude, that'd be so sick. But I don't know. I think it's funny how it's just like this unspoken thing in skating. Like no one wants to say they're trying to get skater of the year, but like you clearly obviously can tell who's trying to get it that year.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
like, I just want to it'd be cool to get the little picture thing or whatever on the website. I think I got it one year and I was like, whoa, sick. I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, that's cool. Like at least it's just like, you get kind of noticed for putting in the work. That's kind of the way I see it, at least. So
Mhm.
something
Dude,
like that
for
would
sure.
be cool.
For sure. You definitely had some years, like, because I feel like you've had a lot of injuries, but when you're skating, you're
Yeah.
a fucking footy machine. So
I
it is
appreciate it.
sick when you get that picture.
I mean,
I never thought about
tell
it
you
that
what,
way.
I'm glad I didn't go for it this year because holy hell, that was fucking,
Joe,
it was
what a race.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have just like told 4 people that year to be like, let's just like do what you guys do with the episodes, stack them up. Like you'll be 20, 25, you'll be 26. Like let's just take this
Seriously.
easy. But I mean, it is, it's kind of funny. It's like it's such a thing now in skating that it's kind of gets people excited at the end of the year. So great for Thrasher, like the way they market that whole thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They
Fucking
killed it.
December, I call it ADD season, man, for skate content. It's insane. Like the heaviest
Fuck, I
parts
know.
kind of only get so little shine because you're already on to the
So
next
gnarly.
every day or every
I
other day.
know. Yeah.
Well, it's almost now, and it's like kind of lame that you just start like comparing them right away. Like
Mhm. Yeah, I know.
it's not
Right?
even like it's not
Yeah.
even like you're hyped on a part. You're just like, well, fuck, like the Foy part was gnarly, but this part, and then Braden, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
like weird, kind of. I don't know. It's like kind of unskate like, but at the same time, it just goes to show that everyone's got that competitive side in them, whether they admit it or not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing that I really respected was we had Miles Silvis on like before he won it, and we asked him like point blank, "Do you want to win it?" And he was like, "Hell yeah!" And then he
Yeah,
went
for
and got
sure.
it. So that was sick.
Mhm. I think like any contender wants to win it, you know?
For sure. I remember
Mhm.
like when Figgy didn't win it, I think he was pretty bummed. Like, I think like, cause they pretty much like told him he was going to win. Like when I was like around him at that time, like they made him the bobblehead and everything. And then they gave it to David Gonzalez that year. And he was
Oh,
just
it
like,
that year. Yeah.
fuck, like,
Mhm.
cause it's just kind of another one of those weird years where like so many people were just ripping. I think it was him, Guy, Mariano, and David that all had that stuff. But I remember, I think Neckface told me that he like texted Phelps after or something, like he was just said something funny to him about like how Figgy should have won it. I don't remember what it was exactly. Like, good luck having fucking so and so beat up like 20 dudes for you in China on Skate Rock or something. Because Figgy's just like he's just like ride or die thrasher, you know, like he is like the embodiment of it. I thought it was funny, but I think that's like one of those people that it's like, how did he not win it?
Yeah.
Well, that year was really tough. I remember like because a lot of people thought Guy should have won too.
Yeah, I think Guy was pretty bummed too, to be honest. But that's just that's how it goes. I mean, to be honest, I'm sure Braden and Elijah are not that hyped that they didn't win it.
Yeah,
they're probably
Tiago
not
too.
stoked.
It sucks when like, there'll be like 4 or 5 people that all deserve it, kind of, and then the next year is like a lighter year. You're just like fuck. Like I feel
that's
like
kind of why I'm plotting
burned.
on next year a little bit.
yeah.
I'm like, everyone who blew their load this year, I'm gonna try to just sneak in a little nomination maybe next year. But no, I'm sure it's like you forget about these people, and then all of a sudden, come like mid-year, that next year, you're gonna be like, oh shit, here they come. Like you can tell who's going for it.
Louis Lopez is going again.
Yeah, that's another guy who should definitely have it by now for sure.
I feel like he's just gone.
There's not enough like awards to give out for all the people, you know. There's like
and it is weird because it's like they should almost. I don't know. Should they have like a female one too? Because it's kind of lame that like that's not even an option for them, really. Like realistically, you know.
Yeah, I love what Australia did, man. They're like, "Fuck this, we're doing our own awards."
Yeah, for sure.
Just got their own.
Someone the other day was talking about the Trans World Awards. I was like, "Holy shit, I forgot about those."
They had all sorts of them, like best video, best team.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome,
bro. We've joked about doing our own, but we should. It'd be funny.
Yeah, it would be sick because I mean, dude, you gotta like. I don't know. There can't just be one. Like, there's got to be.
It's literally just one award.
Yeah, like there's got to be some other shit going on that people can get hyped on.
Yeah, man, it would be insane. Like, let's say in like 5 years or something, if like Haisa or Momiji or one of the girls that's just like next level talented right now, won down the line would be amazing.
I mean, that's the thing is is it almost lame to do like their own one when like a girl like that probably could win it in 5-6 years, like if she really threw down a gnarly year, which would be friggin' awesome.
Yeah,
I feel like she's gonna kick back Smith Hollywood 16 one day, man. I've been envisioning that for a while now. Like and then after seeing her, I don't know if you watched SLS, the kickback lip to win it. Like that was
I didn't,
15.
but I think I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah, like that's not that far off from like, and she did it first try. I don't know.
Yeah,
the future's
she's
bright.
insane. Yeah, there's definitely a few chicks that are just like, holy shit, that is no joke.
I can feel the heat from here.
Yo, it's Rapid Fire with the Ghost, and this week we're honored to be brought to you by my favorite wheels, doing it for the people. You know that Spitfire. They've got all the shapes you need. Lightweight, thin riding surface, straight cut tablets, all the way to wide conical fulls with cut-in sidewalls. Tons of options for Duros too. 93 soft sliders for absorbing extra impact, but still barking when you slide. And of course, everyone's go-to Formula 499s and everything in between. Whatever size, shape, or Duro you like, Spitfire's got you. And that's just wheels. I've been seeing some real clean looking Spitfire denim out in them streets too. Yo, Jim, let's get a box, baby. Spitfire wheels, denim, shirts, backpacks, shit. You know your locals got it. If you're in need, hit up Shred Shop, Beefers, Axis, up north here in Canada, Faces, Plush, Stratosphere, Seasons, Cal Skate, and Lighthouse if you're further south. And don't forget, tell them the Bunt sent you.
You ready to get down and dirty, Riley?
Let's see.
Favorite skater?
Probably Arto.
Favorite video?
Probably Sorry. This is like the first kind of video I saw.
Favorite video part?
Probably, I like Heath's part in Bloom a lot. Just like, that one just gets you in a type of mood for sure.
Wait, what? Heath Sight Unseen?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Favorite style?
Probably Arto.
Which skater had the biggest influence on the way you skate?
I remember when I was like kind of like an early teenager, I really liked Silas Baxter Neal a lot because he like was kind of tech but skated like rails too, and I just thought like his skating was really cool. Like his part in is it Inhabitants that his last part? Yeah, that part's sick. I liked that part a lot when I was growing up.
I never made that connection, but you guys are like
can skate any spot in front of you kind of guys.
I just thought he just kind of did it all, which I was hyped on.
Mm-hmm. Most talented skateboarder on planet Earth.
Man, probably it's got to be Simon. How do you even say Simon's last name?
Bannerat?
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. When you see that dude skate in person, it's like, I've never seen anything like that. And he never stops skating. It's crazy. It's like not like every spot he's the first dude out and he's already like doing something way gnarlier than you were planning to do. So you just kind of just sit there and watch.
Favorite trick?
Favorite trick? Probably just a kickflip. Just like a good kickflip.
Hardest trick for you?
Anything off the front of the board. I've been struggling with that lately. Just getting nollie into anything. I feel like I bend down and I just like, you know, when you do that one where you're like stationary and you bend down for a switch or nollie trick and you're like, nope, that's not going to work. It seems like every time I try to do one lately, that's how I feel.
Damn. Got to get that physio going on that leg, man.
Dude, I know.
Most illegal trick?
For some reason, I wasn't really a fan of when people were doing like back 50 shove-its on rails. Just felt kind of like I don't know, like a weird cop-out type of move. Like, you know, and I've definitely done my share of like back 50s on crazy rails. And I'm sure if I thought about doing a shove-out at the time, I would have done one. But for some reason, I was just like, you know, someone back 50s a rail and then someone comes and like back 50 shoves it. And it just seemed weird, kind of.
Yeah, I feel you. I was never a big fan either. Favorite clip you've ever gotten?
I don't know. I feel like maybe something in like that bacon destroy part. Probably just like maybe the last trick, just because I tried it so many times. I think it was like a backtail kickflip out, and it was like my first Baker ad, and it just felt like a trick I was like proud of, I guess, where it didn't seem like a hand-me-down sponsor vibe, but it was like, all right, this feels like it's worthy of an ad, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Worst trend you've been a part of?
Fuck, probably just being like an alcoholic fucking loser, just like drinking too much and like just wanting to party all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not even like sober by any means, but I don't really drink hardly ever anymore. But yeah, definitely just being way too heavy on the bottle is not a good trend to fall into.
For sure. Gnarliest trick you've ever witnessed?
Like, it's not even that crazy of a trick, but I remember there's this rail in San Diego that we were skating. I think it's a UCSB. It's like a double shotgun rail. And Taylor Smith, I think he kickflip backtailed it in like 3 tries, and it was like an 11 stair, and it was like gnarly. And I think the only thing that had been done at the time was like a Smith or something. And I was just like, holy shit, like this dude is on a different level than us. He's way out there. So probably just watching him do stuff.
Is it the one Rowan Switch Smith? There's a different one.
No, it's in San Diego, and I think that same day I hurricaned it, and I was like trying my ass off to hurricane that thing, and he like kickflip backtailed it so easy, and I was just like, God, this dude is insane.
Damn. What's the one trick that got away?
Just trying to think about that. I was trying this one trick at that like pretty famous spot in San Diego. It's like a little bank with a 4-stair rail that runs like parallel with it. Like so many people have skated it. And I was trying to do 270. Like you come up this way and then the rail goes down like that.
Yeah. Is it the one Wes Kramer just did 1 foot back 5-0?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. And I went back so many times trying to do 270 switch front blunt back to switch.
Damn.
And like I hurt my ankle really bad one time, and then the last time I remember I went, I just couldn't even try it. I just got too scared, and that's one of those ones that just has my number. I remember I went back and watched some of like Greg Lutzka's parts, and I was like, how the fuck is this dude doing this? Like trying to like watch him come off the rail, and like I was just like, yeah, I'm not that guy, I guess. I don't got that one.
Hey, SODI 2025. I want to see
it. And the one time I like thought I had it and went for it, I came down, and that's when I hurt my ankle. And so I think that's what really like put the mental block on for me. Cause I was like, dude, I thought I had it. And then like that happened. It was the one where your foot's kind of on the board, kind of off. Yeah. Bummer.
Damn. That'd be G. What's the biggest bunt you've ever witnessed?
I was thinking about this one too, is like This is like a homie one, but we always talk about it because we were on this trip in Vegas. My buddy, I won't even say his name for his sake, so he doesn't get bummed. But no, we were talking about this spot, and it's like this skinny like Jersey barrier into this huge like freeway pass thing that you can like skate off of. And he kept bringing it up. He's like, I want to go to this thing, fucking nollie flip this thing. Like I'm trying to nollie flip this, and then we'd be like driving around. And he'd be like, yo, play some like nollie flip music. Like we were listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's like, put on like, this is nollie flip music, like trying to get himself hyped. And we're just like the whole trip, like, yo, play nollie flip music. And then finally we like go to this spot and we just like pull up and he's just kind of like quiet all of a sudden. And he like runs up there. And it's like in his defense, it's like pretty narrow where you kind of just like put your board there and like step on it and then just do the trick. And, he gets up there and he's just like kind of standing there for a little bit and he's just like looking at it and he's just like, fuck buddy, might be like kickflip music actually. we're like, no, like not kickflip music. And then anytime from now on, we're just like anytime someone's kind of bun something like fuck kickflip music, like just pull it back a little bit. But that one was pretty funny because we still talk about that one.
Hell yeah. Oh man, I want the name. You might have to tell us off the record. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, it's my homie Nick Pope, one of our Shep Dog homies that like is in all the videos. He's the man. He wouldn't even give a fuck. But it was just funny because the whole trip he's just like this was all we were talking about in the van is this nollie flip. And then he's just up there for 45 seconds. He's like, fuck, might be kickflip music actually.
Yeah, fuck. Hey, trust me, I know how that feels.
Oh, I felt it. It hit for sure.
What's the last new trick you learned?
Man, I've been just fucking running what I got for a while lately. Probably, I did a heel flip back tail recently on a ledge, and I hadn't done that before. I was pretty stoked on that. It was definitely challenging, but I got one up there and touched it.
Hell yeah. Dream job after skating?
Man, before I had my son, I helped teach like the kids jiu-jitsu class at the gym that I go to, and that was like pretty fulfilling in a way that I like never expected. So maybe like, I don't know, maybe be an instructor at a gym or maybe even open a gym one day. I don't know if I want that full responsibility because it's a lot of work, but it'd be cool to just be maybe a coach and help people learn a cool skill that gives them, confidence and is super fun way to like build a friendship with a bunch of people.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Favorite local brand?
Probably these homies at the bottom. It's like these kids that do kind of like clothing over here in Oceanside, and they make rad videos. Like the homie Brand Dog that films them. He filmed like his brother just had a really cool part. Jake Cortez for Venture. That's his brother. I don't know if you saw that part. He's just super good skater. But yeah, those dudes are sick.
Fuck yeah. Favorite local skater?
Probably Alexis Ramirez. He's insane. That's like, I feel like that's the most slept on dude. I feel like he's getting a little shine as of late though, and like more broad audience. But yeah, that dude, I feel like he's been slept on for so long.
Dude, his talent.
And like for no reason really. It's kind of weird.
I don't get it. His talent. I feel like he stands out more now. Like maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
When he was on DC and like, I don't know, his clothes and like everything just flows better now. But that comes with age.
For sure. Yeah, and I like, dude, when I watch him skate, it's like watching Wes in his prime, but like he's like better than Wes. It's crazy.
Woo! Damn.
Like he's like the new version, like he's just like so tech and like grinding the gnarliest rails too. It's like Wes, but like the next generation that watched him, it's crazy.
Yeah, his new part was fucking something else, man.
Yeah, he's sick.
What's the one sponsor you regret riding for?
Dude, I mean, it should probably be Asphalt Yacht Club, but honestly, I don't regret it one bit. Like on paper, that's the one people probably want me to say, but dude, I got no regrets. I don't think on any of those ones.
Hell yeah. Favorite teammate ever?
Probably Rick Howard. He's the best.
Hell yeah.
Boss / teammate.
Yeah. Worst teammate ever?
Man, maybe Simon, just for the reasons I said. He's just too damn good. He just makes me feel like I fucking suck at skating.
Yeah.
He's like the best human, but holy shit, it's hard to like skate with him because he's so damn good. That's like a good problem for him to have. But
yeah. Worst company?
I don't know. I'll just say this because I literally don't know anything about it. Because the other day someone asked me, they're like, yo, what do you think about like some kid that was kind of like I don't know, maybe more into the skate industry than I am now, but like, what do you think about that? I forget his name, but the dude that does that Braille skateboards or whatever. And I didn't even know anything that he just said to me. And I was like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. And so it seemed like some controversial happened. So fuck it, I'll say that. I don't even know what it is, but Braille skateboard company.
Worst trend.
The party thing is pretty sucky, but it's just part of it, you know. I think it's like I went through it too, but it's hard to see like people you care about going through it and kind of like throwing away some prime years of their life, but that's how it goes in skating.
Yeah. Worst style.
Actually I got one for this just because I had some homework on the back end, but I'm going Jake Anderson because he came at my dad with the worst style.
Oh!
I was like,
Jake,
I think this was the first one I listened to, and I'm like, damn, this is dope. And then just got hit with a fucking nuke at the end. I was all, whoa, like,
Oh shit.
no, it's just funny. I actually fucking love his skating. He's one of my favorite skaters. But I was like, sometimes right or wrong, you got to ride or die with the fam. And I was like, this dude just came at my came at my son's grandpa. What the?
Oh shit.
Oh,
It's
man.
so funny because these homies, they compile like stats from like everyone's rapid fire, and like Jake was like worst teammate the most amount of times out of
That's
anyone in
amazing.
history. But I think you were the first to just hit him with worst style.
Dude, there's
That's
some lore,
perfect.
there's some backstory.
Oh,
Yeah.
That one goes deep. But no, it was funny because I think it was literally the first one I listened to, and I was like, damn, this is how they're getting down on this. Like my dad is just getting
That might be
wrecked.
the only time ever.
No, I think it was because I've listened to many now and I never heard it
Yeah.
again. But I was just like, whoa, this is getting
Yeah.
crazy at the end of this show.
Oh,
Fucking
glad
Jake,
you
man.
still listened, and we're down to come on after Jake.
Oh no, it's all
With
love.
it.
I mean, I think my dad's said it many times. He does not have the best style in skating, but like I said, sometimes you gotta just ride or die with the family, whether you're right or wrong.
All
You're
day.
damn right, dog.
Hell yeah. And then Riley, last but not least, who's the last person you want on the sesh?
I feel like I hate when people are trying to like fight like security guards and shit
my
and
God.
like people
Yeah.
and like honestly I like a lot of these dudes, but whenever I watch those like illegal civilization videos, I just get like so cringed out by them trying to like fight some like middle-aged dude that's like just over them skating a spot, and for some reason that just bugs me. But I don't even have anything bad to say about those guys as like skaters or whatever, but for some reason I noticed in particular that crew's always like fucking trying to fight people. I don't get it.
Yeah. I feel like
Agreed.
I think as you
Like-
get older, you're just like, ugh, like
Yeah.
that's just not it. But
not even them specifically, but I just feel like that footage, just bury it because it is cringe when you see it. Like if that happened,
Yeah.
that sucks. But
Mhm.
putting it in a video, I feel like it's not like, at least I don't think people are at home like, yeah, like sick. Like
No, that's the bad because there are kids who will actually think like, yo,
that's
I love
sick.
these skaters.
Yeah.
Like this is what they're doing. Like we
yeah,
could do
you
that.
just fucking fight the dude trying to stop the 10 stair from getting skated. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? But like, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, you know, I've been there when it's like you're pissed and someone's just being a jackass. But like, fuck, I don't know.
I know,
like
but-
actually starting to throw hands is like kind of crazy.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You're supposed to grow out of that, like in your teen
Yeah.
years. I feel like maybe when we were 15,
Yeah.
16 running around downtown, we'd be like, you know, fucking with security guards.
Yeah, that's
Well,
too.
yeah,
fun
because you don't
when
get
you're a
it. You don't get
teenager,
that that's
yeah.
like some guy that's like,
Yeah.
you gotta go home and like,
And
he's
yeah.
just fucking doing his job.
At
But
that
there
age,
are
they're older than you
definitely-
too. But now sometimes like we're older than security guards, and it's just like, yo, we're
Dude,
too
it's so
grown to be
crazy.
fucking around like this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I agree, man. And Riley, thank you for taking the time to come on the show, man. Appreciate it. That was
yeah,
awesome.
no worries. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Killed
Thanks,
it.
Doug.
Welcome back to the post office, brought to you by our good friends at Dickey's Skateboarding. Quality workwear since 1922. From the work site to the streets. Ain't nobody keep you fitted like Dickey's, man. All right, Ghost. Holiday season post office. Who we got up first?
Let's see. We got a little email here from Lachlan Earl. Hey guys, just want to get your thoughts on someone giving themselves last part in a video. My friend Joel Wright, shots fired, gave himself last part in a video a few years ago, which I thought was pretty outrageous. He claims it's okay and pointed out that Jamie Thomas did it as well. Do you guys agree it's okay to give yourself last part? P.S. Joel would like to inform you that he has only given himself last part in one of the 3 videos he's made. So he is not a serial offender.
Anytime you're comparing yourself to the great Jamie the Chief Thomas, you know, you could be entering hot waters. So have any of us ever done that growing up? Last part?
No, like Cody had last part in that you and 6 edited that.
Yeah. What else?
That's it. The editing was always not in our hands. Like Bass never gave, like he didn't have a part. I don't know.
No. Who's gonna have last part in the Bunt video?
The footage will determine that. That's what. That's where I think if Joel had the best part, then he can have last part.
Yeah.
You know, I think
if it's deemed upon by the crew, but if it's an egregious act where clearly Joel should be maybe first or dare say it in the middle somewhere, Joel, you're in trouble, man. But if the footy's the footies, then what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but we don't. He didn't send us a link to the video, so we don't know. But yeah, the footy. Like I actually always thought Chris Cole should have had last part in Dying to Live. Like to me, clip for clip, it's the best part. But
that was the chance to, you know, give over the reins to Chris Cole coming on as a youngster, clearly taking over the direction of the brand. But hey, who are we to make these decisions?
Yeah, I get it though. It's like that was Jamie Thomas's last like heavy duty part, and he was the face of the brand still at the time, so it makes sense. But just the way I watch videos, I always thought Chris Cole's part was better.
Yeah. But, who was first in that video?
John Alley, I think.
I've always thought that being first was a little like a better place than last, man. Not as much pressure, but like you spark it. Like JT should have went first, Chris Cole last.
But yo, the way his part was edited, it was the last part for sure.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
and I don't know,
dramatic flair to that.
I'm not. Yeah, it was a good ass last part. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but,
I fucking love that video.
Like, yeah, Chris Cole at the time was on, like breaking fucking barriers down with the like first kickback nose blunt and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see how Joel edited his last part.
Yeah.
That would be great. Get us the video. We'd love to watch the video. As long as it's not like 45 minutes, I'll watch it, man.
Joel, you're in the clear for now, but if your part is not last part worthy, then you're kooking it, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, next up, we've got a voice note from Jonathan Hardy. Let's take a listen.
All right, Buntleman. This is John out in the woods of Washington State. Fellow old head putting together a skate trip for all the homies back home. Well, from back home, I guess. We all live kind of scattered across the country now. But I'm curious, you guys just got back from Melbourne, and I'm wondering, I'm 38, you guys are, I think, 36 and 37. Was there anything that was maybe a surprising new piece of the routine on a skate trip like that, or something that got you hyped you weren't expecting to? I don't know, whatever. Tips and tricks or whatever for a skate trip in your late 30s. I fucking cold plunge. What do we got to do? Let me know. All right, thanks for taking my voice message. Later, boys.
I don't think too much has changed, man, from when we were younger till now. Slightly older head trips.
What do you mean, dude? We don't party anymore. Like, that's the key.
True.
If you want to go on the trip and like continue skating, I think Melbourne was a little different because we were like at parties a lot. But even then, like, I think we were just going home much earlier. I don't think I was out past once in Melbourne. And like, I think a better like comparison might be when we're just driving to cities to go on trips like Buffalo or Detroit or whatever. Like, we don't really go out.
Yeah, that's true. But there's still beers being drank all day. I think the difference is they're being drank during the day and they're super light beers.
Yeah.
But like someone might have like 15 beers. It's just, but you feel better.
We
the
know
next
that
day.
someone.
Yeah, you feel better the next day if you don't drink a bunch from like 11 till 3 a.m. If you drink a bunch like from 1 p.m. to 8 or something.
Yeah, whoever's the dude walking around in Crocs, that's the guy who had too many beers the night before. Any other things that like we've changed over the years? We've been on a lot of trips together. It's kind of awesome.
I feel like the fridges are definitely a little healthier in general. You know, people try to get their fruits in, juice, fucking green juices and whatnot. Just little things, nothing crazy though. I mean, everyone's got their own little like maybe stretch thing that they do. Mm-hmm. There's always like a massage gun or two floating around the van. Yeah. All that shit, but I wouldn't say nothing too crazy's changed, man. You guys just gotta common sense. Just don't fucking turn up. That's pretty much the main one.
Yeah, if you could avoid that, save yourself some days.
Yeah.
Have fun on your trip, man. Sounds like it'll be awesome.
Yeah. Let us know how that goes. Like a follow-up. Sorry we don't have any better advice, but you already know what to do. If you're skating locally, it's nothing changes when you hit the road. Just do the things to make you feel good physically. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, we got an email from Pat Babarams. You're in an emergency situation and you need help. Out of all three, who was saving you? Dustin Dolan, Dustin Henry, or Rodney Mullen?
Fuck me. Saving you from what, dude?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Say something crazy like there's like a tiger chasing you.
Jesus Christ, a tiger chasing me? Fuck me, I'm rolling the dice, man. I'm going with Dustin Dolan. That's just me. If I end up fucking dying because of this emergency situation, at least I went down with a fucking story to tell. Dolan, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I might go with Rodney Mullen. I'm changing it up. It's some sort of, I'm like in a terror, like I'm like, you know, strapped in a room, people guns to my head, and I need someone to come talk me out of it. Rodney, the genius Mullen, comes through.
Fuck no,
somehow.
Dude. Yeah.
Dolan would come in guns blazing, but I don't know if that's the answer you need there.
Dude, it would maybe distract the tiger or whoever it is, and then they would attack Dolan, and then I'd be out of there.
Wow, the sacrificial lamb. That's ruthless.
All right, next up, we got email from Terry Cloth. Yo, Bunt Boys, want to say thank you for putting our want to say thank you for putting out Barn Burner after Barn Burner. Y'all got me and my wife into Top Boy still. We binged 3 seasons in 1 week. We still need to go back and watch the original 2 seasons. Oh, man, that's the best part. Jamie was always the top boy in my eyes. Here with a fun fact that y'all might not already know, but I don't think you brought it up during Daniel Wheatley ep. Mr. Wheatley's significant other plays Jack's significant other Bex. Many worlds colliding in the Wheatley ep. Not really a question here, but you have to watch the first 2 seasons of Top Boy. That's where the groundwork is laid. And I understand you may be thinking that Jamie is the top boy, but you forgot the 2 best seasons of the show. So you go back and you'll understand how these boys got to where they are, man.
Very emotional first 2 seasons too.
It's like a different show, almost. Like not completely, but like yeah, it's definitely way deeper in the first couple seasons.
It's weird watching it out of order like that because I for sure see how Jamie could be someone's like favorite character, and he is a great character. But when you watch the first 2, like Jamie just feels like a newcomer to the show, so you're not gonna gravitate towards him like you would. But
Duchesne.
Duchesne, man, that's my top boy.
That's the GOAT right there, man.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure we knew that about Wheatley, but
Yeah.
maybe just too random to just bring that up mid-skate interview.
Let's talk about your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's a boss though, and her character is wicked.
Yeah.
Any new shows? Any new
I'm
shows
watching
on the go?
Manland right now. You heard of it? Or Landman?
Landman.
Yeah.
Is it good? Phil keeps telling me to watch it.
It's pretty good. I'm like skeptical to tell you a show because if it feels like Sons of Anarchy, Yellowstone, now I'm just in this like oil section. It's fucking, but it's good so far. Good actors. Billy Bob's a legend. John Hamm, Demi Moore. It's been good. I'm only like 4 episodes in.
Yeah, I've been meaning to give it a try, and I just thought it was funny because There Will Be Blood was Billy Bob and like an oil movie back in the day, and that was so good.
Yeah.
So hopefully
it
can
good.
Stay on like that kind of standard, but that was a classic movie.
Texas, baby.
Squid Game
Women
season
San
2.
Antonio. Yeah, I haven't started that yet. I have to.
I just watched the first step. So far, so good. Okay, thanks for the email, homie. All right, next up, we got a voice note from Waylon. Let's see his last name. Petramol. What's up, guys? Best podcast in the game. Y'all are like my uncles now. Much love and respect. Had to unsubscribe from Gifted Haters Patreon after this. Whoa. Okay. Let's take a listen.
Yo, what up, Safa, Donovan, Ants? It's Waylon from Las Vegas. I just want to know your thoughts on Gifted Hater dissing y'all in his live streams. I've watched multiple live streams in November, October, and he shit on y'all multiple times, saying that Safa has no energy, saying that you guys don't ask any good questions, you do nothing good with the guest stories. I think it's bullshit because lately the episodes have been the most fun to me. It's been my favorite season so far. Y'all literally gave him an episode. Y'all have given him a good positive light in the post office for years. So it's just weird as fuck. Let me know.
You know,
Interesting.
I genuinely do like Joa. Very nice guy. I have to be honest that I don't watch any of his stuff. Before we had him on the show, like I would definitely check in, and maybe over the years I've seen like a Street League stream of his. But it's a fucking tough job he's doing, being the fucking skate critic, having to like hate on people. That's what people want to hear. So there's going to be times where, you know, he's reaching, looking for something. And if he needs to come after us every now and then, that's fine, man. But Joa, don't be the next Weckenball, man. And the fucking flame burns out. Talking too much smack over there, my G.
Yeah, I watch his stuff. I'm not subscribed, but like I'll watch shit when it pops up if the topic is something I like, and I usually enjoy it. But I don't watch the live stream, so can't comment. Respect for having our back, but we're all friends, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'd be interested to actually hear. Usually, like if it's on the YouTube or something, we'll get tagged. But I guess because it's live, it never got back to us. But
I would love to see like a montage of all the shit talking put together. That would be epic.
Yeah.
Like
so
a
I
best
don't
of.
really know where to go. I feel like we should give Joa the benefit of the doubt because
Wait, are
I
we not?
consider him. Yeah, I consider. That's what I'm saying. I'm continuing along with that sentiment because I think we consider him the homie.
Well, I
And,
asked him. I
Yeah,
asked him if he's talking shit. It's not like it's all good. He says every now and then he's throwing some constructive criticism out there, which means yes, he's talking shit, but that's fine. Not hurt by it, man.
yeah. As much as appreciate you giving us the heads up and whatnot, and I mean, I don't know, unsubscribing is your choice. Wouldn't tell people to do that. But,
I like that though.
but still want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He is the homie, and wicked skater and a gifted hater.
Very, very gifted. All right, next up, we've got an email from Suckame Balls. Think you know where you went there. Yo, Bunt Kooks. Can someone please tell me the truth behind Nike's Nothing But the Truth? Grew up with that DVD. Skating was fucked, but what the hell was that in between the parts? Shit's nutty. Throw up section was sick as fuck, though. No misrespect. Classic vid that I'll watch forever. Bonus footage goes hard, too. Dude, we are all the kooks. LOL. Yeah.
Random question. I don't know why you expected me and Donald to have answers on that, but no idea. Strange. Yeah, it was strange, like little edits between parts.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, a classic video. Louis Marnell, P-Rod, Grant Taylor, Shane O'Neill in the bonus section. A lot of great footage in that video.
Serious lineup right there.
Yeah, BA had a sick part. Should rewatch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one was Uyghur in?
He's in that one as well.
Holy fuck. We got to get that guy, man. That guy he's gone. Where the fuck's Uyghur?
He said yes to coming on, and then when it comes time to do it, he's nowhere to be found.
Where in the world?
I think that's the one with his part to the Smiths or something, but it's so sick. Fuck, I just woke up ready to try and sing his part. Not today. Hey, Joe was right. I've got no energy. Thanks for the email. We'll be rewatching that video soon.
Yep.
All right, next
I'm watching Dying to Live today, just for the record.
Okay. All right. We got an email from Brett Provost. Yo, boys. Not really a question, but I think French Red interview would be best thing ever. Also, I wish French Red would do a behind the scenes of the early 2000s with the Flip team. The story video was my first time seeing pro skating, and nothing to this day beats that for me. I just threw on Sorry the other day, man. Still up here, man.
Yeah, I said it a few weeks back, or maybe it was last week. Dude, there's this weird thing about the holidays where like the time doesn't make sense for 2 weeks, so I actually don't know when I said that or when I've done anything in the last week. But yeah, French Fred. He would probably have some of the best stories of all time. That's one of the best teams and best eras in skating. The Flip team was fucking incredible. And I don't know. Them having Appleyard, one of the best Canadians ever, made us probably like them even more. So,
yeah. Did you see they're doing like a signed Appleyard board thing right now, which I thought was so weird because he's on Disorder now.
Yeah.
But
no, I did not see that.
Flip.
Yeah, Flip's in one of those weird stages of the company, but fuck, did they have one of the best times ever.
I'm pretty sure French Fred went on Beyond Boards podcast, so we could hit up our homie there. Maybe he's got the connect. We would definitely love to get him on the pod one of these days.
Mm-hmm. All right, last email of the week coming in from Elijah Levinson. Hey Bunters, I started skating this February at the age of 21. I'm 22 now. Oh, French Fred. There you go. I'm 22 now, which probably makes me your youngest and least skilled listener. My favorite skaters are Yuto, Street Only, Joe Campos, Max Palmer, and Nikolai Piombo. Right now, I have the stationary ollie pretty down. I'm working on getting it rolling, leveling it out, and adding height. I think next is 50-50s and tail/no slides because learning kick flips sounds less fun. I try to skate most days, but my sessions are really short because I have zero tricks and chronic fatigue. Me too, man. I can't manual at all because after I took my first ever slam on my second ever attempt, some kind of Professor X style psychic block has been placed on me, and I've only gotten worse at them. when I can actually work up the nerve to try one. It's almost as scary to me as dropping in, but I'm working on that. The tricks I'm most excited to learn are crooks and back tails, as well as just carving a bowl once I can commit to dropping and rolling in. Really, I just want to know if you guys have any advice for a 22-year-old Grom. I've been living in Santa Cruz for almost 2 years now, which obviously has a very well-established and intimidating local scene. The one time I went to my local, Mike Fox, I felt like the world's biggest poser with the anti-hero shirt I got for $8 at the thrift store. Please don't flame me too hard. Even if you do, I'll still keep getting out there and trying though. Sorry, Ghost, for the long email. Congrats on this season.
Better be sorry, motherfucker.
Nah, this is the last guy we would ever flame, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Obviously, sometimes the skate scene can be intimidating. I definitely get that. I would say it's definitely easier to be the Grom when you're a Ute for sure, because you give zero fucks. And the older guys, as harsh as they'll be on you, they'll take you under their wing eventually after roasting you for years. Simon and Warren and Johnny. But yeah, just stick around, man. Just don't go anywhere. Keep going to the skate park, man. It's good you have those little goals too.
Yeah, stay patient. Backtail's probably a ways away, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Got to get your back 50s first, back 5-0s, no slides and all that. Yeah, man.
No slide is the next.
Yeah.
No slide is the next logical step.
And shoves, if you haven't done those, just whip it around shoves, then work on popping them.
Yeah.
Maybe get your 180s going, half cabs, fakey shoves.
Yeah. But one thing I'll say, I definitely know that you're not our least skilled listener, because our moms listen. So you're safe there, man.
Yeah, and you're not our youngest either, but that is kind of like a funny chirp, just assuming it's all
old heads.
Older people.
Old people unite.
Yeah, keep skating and don't be self-conscious when you go to the skate park, man. Anyone who would give you a hard time for not being good is a kook anyways, so go work on your shit and just be mindful of the skaters around you. Make sure your skate park etiquette is on point, not snaking, not hogging something the whole time. But yeah, keep doing your thing and maybe send us a clip. You know what I'm saying? 2025. By the end of 2025, then backtails, I hope to see one.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the post office for this week. Get your emails, voice notes, and videos into the buntlive@gmail.com. This is The Rundown, the skateboard world source for sports. Ghost, the fantasy season has come to an end. One of our favorite times. We're going to go through a couple awards in fantasy and then talk some real football. We will start with fantasy MVP. Maybe not a first or second round pick, but someone you could grab in the middle rounds that really put your team over the top.
I mean, other than the fact that he put up, I think, 5 yards in the finals week, Terry McLaurin ended the season being like a top 4 or 5 receiver. We played non-PPR, so I don't know where that stacks up. But I looked at that the other day, like before this last week, so he might have gone down a couple spots. But I think he had like 2 bad games, and he was double digits in non-PPR almost every game this year.
Yeah.
And that was like a 7th, 8th round pick, depending on your league, 6, 7, 8. So I'll give the nod to him.
Yeah, hard to go against that. That was definitely one of those picks where you were getting deep and you kind of name recognition. I'll grab Terry McLaurin, and he wound it up in your lineup.
But he also sucked for the first 3 weeks. And so you're kind of like, do I bench this guy? And then he went on a crazy streak. But it was also a little fluky. I remember he had one game that was like a tight end stat line. It was like 2 touchdowns for like 6 yards.
Yeah.
It still like looks good, but then when you break it down, you're like, well, like 2 catches, not great.
Yeah. For me, I think the season was won by the aging running back. So I think Derrick Henry, man, like he probably got him in the second or third round. I think in our 2 QB league, he was a 4th round pick. And when you have a running back that does something like that for the whole year, it definitely elevates your team. Not mine personally, because I missed the playoffs, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just remember seeing the meme because I think Saquon in non-PPR had like 7.5 points in the first round of the playoffs, and Derrick Henry had like 6.
Yeah.
And the meme of like, you know, that Jake Gyllenhaal one where he like walks away and he's like blows a kiss. It's like Saquon and Derrick Henry like just saying goodbye to your fantasy after carrying you to the playoffs. Or
Yeah.
Ruthless. If you lost in the first round with those guys after they put up 15 to like 25 most weeks. 2 more quick ones. Brian Thomas Jr., man. I got none of him, and in our
I didn't even know who
league,
that guy was, to be honest with you, man. But I know now.
Pick in this league, pick 102 to our homie John Gaby in the 9th round, and then he also is a top 10 wide receiver, and looks like, dude, the numbers he's been putting up with Mac Jones, like he's guaranteed a touchdown every week, usually over 100 yards. That was an insane pick right there.
Let's talk about the best and worst first round picks for you, because obviously this is the one where you need that first round pick to stand out week in and week out, and some guys did and some guys definitely did not.
Well, we're easy, no-brainer one is obviously Christian McCaffrey.
That's not even a pick, man. What a way, devastating way to start the fantasy season for some people.
Yeah, so a lot of people and like most fantasy analysts had the big 3 as CMC, Bijan, and Breece Hall. So in every league, I just wanted to get one of those 3 guys. Luckily, no CMC for me. And I got Breece Hall thinking I would have taken him first if I had the first pick. Thinking like, just kicking myself now, just thinking like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are going to do something,
dude,
this year. Breece
it was
Hall,
primed. Yeah,
you had him too, and like seeing what him and Garrett Wilson were able to do with what was his name last year?
Zach Wilson. Like you're like, oh, it can only be better, but yeah,
it
was
really,
the same.
Man. It was the same,
worse.
And their record was worse.
Yeah.
You see, he had the worst.
I think
QBR.
Garrett Wilson had a much better season this year, but
but he's had 1,000 yards his first 2 years with horrible QB play.
Definitely really hard watching Breece Hall. That's for sure.
And Bijan ended up being the only one. After a slow start, he ended up being the best one.
Yeah. And I would just say Jamar Chase by far. You'll see him up there in the top 3 next season, depending on like if your league goes heavy running back. But I think depending on what happens in Minnesota, that's your number 1 wide receiver off the board next year. He is the definition of boom, or not bust, but like middling, you know?
Yeah, he'll have the occasional 4-point week, which is frustrating, but the booms are worth it. He's wide receiver 1 by a long shot in non-PPR this year. The other one, Saquon Barkley. I was like in on him, and then at the last second, I was like,
2,000 yards.
I just remember seeing a report about like Saquon hasn't had any like wow plays in training camp, and I was like, you know what? And I'm just looking at our OG Bunt League right here. Your boy took CD Lamb with the 5th pick, panic pick, because I missed the 3 running backs. Saquon went 1 pick after to Gaby, who's trying to fend off Russ Milligan for a championship in that league. Oh, what I could have done with Saquon. For fuck's sakes.
Can we talk about your Steelers for a little bit here? Once very high hopes, Russell Wilson doing his thing. Is this just they're missing George Pickens that bad? They need that receiver because the passing game is just, it's gone.
They definitely miss him, but then he was just back this last game against who just smoked them? Baltimore? Or was that the week before?
Was it Baltimore?
Oh no, KC.
Kansas
KC
City.
Just,
yeah.
KC just roasted them. I don't know, man. Like, I'm really nervous about. I just want them to win one game because I came into this season not too greedy, but then when they started winning a bunch and started hearing people talk about, like they're the best team in their division, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know, man. Baltimore always loses a couple questionable games, but when they're on, like, not many teams can beat them. Like when they're clicking, like we've seen them beat the Bengals twice this year. We've seen them destroy Buffalo. But I got high hopes for at least one win. That's all I'm asking for. Come on,
That
Steelers.
is a reasonable ask. Have we ever seen a player come back from the dead like we've seen Sam Darnold do?
Me personally, no. Like I never.
This is unreal.
Yeah.
He's definitely a product of some of the best coaching in the NFL right now. But what do you do going into next year? You roll the dice with JJ McCarthy, or you just say, fuck it, man, like JJ, you can sit for another year or two. It's never bad for a quarterback to sit, and you give Darnold the reins again next year.
Man, I really think it's so tough. They're 14-2, and I remember their 2 losses were games that they should have won. I remember Sam Darnold, because they were early in the season, and it was like, he was just fooling us because they were like, whatever, 5-0 or some shit. And then they lost a couple winnable games, if I remember correctly. And then it was like, like the real Sam Darnold's here. And even I had him in one fantasy league, and I would bench him here and there. I'm like, oh, no, it was just a fluke start. Like, let me put Anthony Richardson in over him or something. And then it bit me in the ass every time. And now at 14-2, after the way they spanked the Packers, they let a late comeback happen a little bit. But dude, it's one of the coolest things. You sent me that video of the team like going crazy when he got into the locker room. I was never a fan of him, but and everyone loves a comeback story, so I'm actually so hyped for him. And I remember Nicole saying Nicole or Davis, our Minnesota homies, talking about like this would be the year they would win it, like because they're so fucked, like, and cursed, that the one year when no one had any expectations would be like their most successful year in forever.
That would be the best.
I'm definitely rooting for the Vikings in the playoffs. Let's get a couple wins.
So usually you get to the end of the season, a lot of these games are meaningless in terms of playoff seeding, and a lot of going into the last week is that. But there's one game, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions, for all the marbles, the division crown on the line. Who you taking?
And who would have thought? Where is it? Do you know?
Let's find out.
I mean, it's going to be indoors either way.
Yeah.
I think
it's in Detroit, and it's the Sunday night game.
You know what? They've been getting their some defensive players back. They looked a lot better last week, but that was against the Bears. Even if they lose tonight, it's still for the division next week, huh? Fuck. Damn, man. Maybe I'll give Minnesota the slight edge just because their defense. But fuck, Detroit can score on anyone. Their problem is their defense. I don't know, man. That's a fucking toss-up. What do you think?
I'm going with the Lions at home. Been an offensive juggernaut all season. Sam Laporta looks like he's getting hot at the right time. And low-key, I still think Jared Goff's an MVP contender. He's top 3. What he does for this team week in and week out. Obviously, they leaned on Montgomery and Gibbs for portions of the season, which I don't know why you wouldn't. But I just give it to Goff. The quarterback play, I give him the edge over Sam Darnold.
Bro, really? Like, because Darnold, well, they have a better record now. The Lions got to play tonight, but Darnold like just popped his head back in the MVP conversation yesterday.
I mean, for me, the MVP is Josh Allen. Does the most with the least, but I think I just give it to Goff. I think Goff went like 3 months where him and Amon-Ra didn't drop a pass. I think he had like an almost perfect game. He's the quarterback that is not going to get out there and rush for 60 yards, but he's going to sit in the pocket and do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving the fact that we're going to get to see like the max that Jahmyr Gibbs can give you. I think all fantasy players have wanted to see this full turn up from Gibbs and what he's capable of, and now we're going to see it.
Yeah, fuck. Don't remind me. I'm fucking too stressed about that. I need 7.9. I need 79 yards or 19 yards and a touchdown from Gibbs to win.
I think he'll get both.
Our one league.
Rushing and receiving. I think it'll be over in the first quarter. The NFL, man. Fantasy football. Been another good year.
Come on, Gibbs. I remember you were tripping when I drafted him because Montgomery was my keeper. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the last week.
Dude, it's awesome that you got to fucking play both of them for the majority of the year too.
Yeah. But yo, the JJ McCarthy thing, what do you think?
You got to give it back to Darnold, man. I wouldn't let him go anywhere. Clearly him and the coach, they get along. They good chemistry. I go back to Darnold. Like you said, it's a huge season for the Vikings when people thought it would be a wasted year. I literally thought, I'm like, oh, this is a wasted year for Justin Jefferson. It's just going to go by and be one of those years in his career we forget, and it's been the exact opposite. And a lot of that is the coach, but a lot of that, you got to tip your cap to Sam Darnold.
Dude, his last touchdown to Jefferson last week was insane. He's like falling forward, just flings it. Jefferson, I don't know, like 30-something yard touchdown. It's been pretty impressive to watch. And like some of the games are close, but then you keep looking at the standings, you're like, wait, they've still only lost 2 games all year.
Yeah. I saw a photo, you probably saw it the same as a meme of when Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were together on the Carolina Panthers 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy to see where they are now, man. That's the NFL.
9-week winning streak. Yeah. I think Baker just set a bunch of career highs yesterday. Passing yards, all that. 2 really sick comeback stories.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the rundown, unless you got something else to talk about.
Been slacking on my NBA again. Sorry to the homie. But no, you got to congratulate Mason on, what do we call that league? The Love Island League, our league.
Yeah.
I wish it was more entertaining, but I think he's beating me by like 60 points or something. My team shit the bed, so congrats, Mason. You fucking piece of shit.
Mason makes everything entertaining because he just, goes through all the motions by himself. He wins himself, he loses, he talks shit, he says sorry. It's always a roller coaster in that league with Mason, but one of the greatest group chats going right now.
Yeah, after he beat Davis, I tried to tell him, like, on the phone, you gotta chill and your fantasy etiquette shit, but he didn't learn anything. He like can't help himself from texting everything that's going through his head. Or I'm like, just keep like in round 1, he played Malto, and then he was like, Malto starts coming back on him. He's like, honestly, I'm down to be out. That's round 1. Okay, you just basically like couldn't handle the fantasy stress. Then you win that one, start talking shit. Malto's like on the side. He's like, yo, fuck, if Mason wins, he's just not gonna shut up, blah blah blah. Starts puffing his chest out. Next round, after Thursday, and 1 game had been played, one player had gone, his tight end. He's like, congrats, Davis, like conceding, soft as hell. Then wins, starts talking shit. Then same thing against me. Fucking, it's Christmas Day. I'm literally at the dinner table with my family, and I guess Lamar had a big touchdown, and he's like, "Are you okay?" Say like talking shit, and then I blocked his Chuba Hubbard backup, and he
lost his mind.
Lost his mind. He's like, oh, you're about to get your second undeserved ring. I'm like, bro.
You were turned into quite the villain in that group chat over the last week, man.
What did I do? I didn't even do anything. Like,
yeah, hey, much like when me and Mason argued about his double dribble in Melbourne, I threw my hands in the air and I stepped out of that one, man. They were talking about having Trump ban you from coming to the U.S. for a second in that group chat. So
that's just Jesse's crazy ass. But no, congrats, Mason. Rookie season. He's a quick learner, and he'll never get a fantasy tip from me again.
Nah, you're done. That's it. 1 year. Congrats, Mason. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the rundown in this week's episode of The Bunt. See y'all next week, man. You know where to find us.